Oh. Hello everybody. Oh, hold on, I know what's wrong. There we go. Now we have talk. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Hey, first stream, it all went wrong. Hooray, Paul is useless. Hello, Rolling Duck Studio. Hello, Ginger Ninja Lewis. Hello, Soda Engine. Hello, Fluffy Winter. Ooh. Hello, Finn M99. Hello, Yeeters Deleters. Hello, Nathan the Saddle Tank Engine. I'ma be the first so we can have read G3. Hello, Sketchy Girl. Hello, Bluebell. How is everyone? We'll give it a few minutes and then we'll get started. Got to get started. Can't piss about. Just make sure we've got a good connection and everything. Yeah. I'm okay, thank you, Ginger Ninja. How are you? Born as Ninja. Many of his friends made fun of him for being able to kill a man 16 ways with one hand. One day his ninja master approached him. Lewis, you will never attain the rank of scary. You must have the fire in your heart. You must become Ginger. I should have had a gong sound effect ready for that. Bong. Quickly, young Lewis travelled to the farthest peaks to find Boots the chemist. Suddenly, Ninja Master appeared to him in a vision. You cannot just colour hair, Ginger. You must become Ninja. Now, over 4 seasons, he has travelled the world to discover the secret of how to become Ninja. Meanwhile, narrator loses voice. Deeply regrets doing this at start of stream. Johnny Sophie purring. Could you hear it? Fluffy Winter, yes, you're online. You're in time online. Have you seen the Shed 17 million posts on Twitter? Just jog my memory. Hello, Party Up 210 Productions. Yo, Party Up 210. Oh, sorry. I thought maybe it was a play on words. Okay, so we've got a lot to get through, and I hope I can answer a few questions and things like that. So there's no messing around. We're just going to get on with it. Absolutely no interruptions. Oh, bloody hell. Coupled together on a pad, Henry and Gordon. I'm really depressed right now, so I've been prescribed happy pills.
Oh, can I try some?
No, they're not your prescription.
Oh, go on, you miserable old bastard.
Oh, all right then, but only one. Oh.
I'm Henry Style, chop, 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 chop. I'm Henry Style, chop, 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 chop.
Sorry about that. I'm so embarrassed. Every bloody time. What am I thinking? I don't know. Just wait till the 12-inch mix comes out. This is going to get age restricted, isn't it? Why? Henry took some happy pills. I haven't sworn yet, but you know, the night is young. Okie dokie, we've got a lot to get through, so we'll do some stuff sort of in between episodes. So, let me just... we'll get started. If there's a problem with any problems with sound or anything, just let me know, okay? So, let's begin. Thomas is a tank engine who lives at the big station. So this, obviously, is the start of the series, the proper, you know, the canon series. And this is the reason it's got another person doing Thomas's voice, so Thomas can argue with the narrator. You see, and it's the whole idea was, you know, let's do a Thomas series that's a little bit not appropriate. It's kind of it's not offensive, but it's a little bit sort of, whoa, that's going a bit far. Whoa. And Thomas was PC at the time, wasn't he? He was getting PC. It's going to Findem9 says, I'm going to rip off your show. Right. So, the idea is, so Thomas was PC in real life, wasn't he? And he'd gone PC a few years ago. They started moving in with women. They started having autistic engines, and he travelled the world and discovered that everyone's just like him. Hooray! So, not that I have anything against that, any of that, but it just seemed to be amusing to me. So, this is the first bit of... It's also making fun of that sort of, internet attitude now where everything's going to be... wheels, a short... Everything's going to be... everything's offensive, I'm autistic, that's that. I don't mean any offence to anyone. It's just a bit of fun, It's not... I'm not having a laugh at anyone's expense. It's just something to join in with. And, that was part of it, wasn't it? They made an engine, I can't remember his name. He was voiced by someone off the telly. Anyway. So, yeah. So this is the start of it. And the idea is that Thomas is triggered by this as well. Okay. Stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler, and a short stumpy...
Oi! That's not very nice.
What?
Making fun of other people's flaws.
Lots and lots of trees
I don't comment
is
on your
always
glasses, do I?
bad.
No,
I don't call you baldy.
All right.
I don't call you specky slughead,
I actually
do
talked
I?
to Brandon
Do I?
Foley
Alright.
not so long
Sorry,
ago, and
okay.
he really does
Sorry.
sound like that in real life.
No.
He said to me, I remember watching Shed when I was, I think he said 18, and I thought, holy shit, he's like 20 odd. How's he getting through life sounding like this? He must be hard as fuck.
No wonder you live on your own.
Oh, that's
Oi.
war, sorry. The titles, these grass hills are actually balls, and the ones in the background there are just still images, and this one has a railway line that's kind of just curved, so it goes over the ball, and the engine obviously goes across it and stays stuck to the. It says stuck to the rails, but he does jump at one point, and the idea is to just render the engine on the mountain, on the ball, and to do it at different angles, and me sort of rendering it like 3 times, because Thomas is going to do this I think 3 times. Okay, the model obviously is made from scratch, the Thomas model, and the way he sticks to the rails, he's got a pivot point right in the centre of the ball, and that's turning, and Thomas is reacting to this object in the middle turning. That's how he sticks to the rails, and the jump is basically just moving the model up a little bit. The wobble is part of his. It's like an animated distortion. The whole model is linked, and it's now is it linked? The box parts are linked, and then that's what's actually distorting. And all it is, it's just simple. It's just being distorted left to right. Quite straightforward. The idea was kind of people are going to watch and go, "Oh my God, Paul's changed it. Paul's made Thomas look like shit." I just thought that would be, amusing, and then kind of the episode starts, and it's like, oh, thank God he hasn't. The joke's kind of ruined because we see Thomas at the start, but there you go. And in all fairness, that's now not the worst model. The new series one is, so yeah, we can all feel more confident that what we do is better than the new series. So fantastic. All the newspaper things. So the newspapers are my template. I've got these Photoshop templates that I made for how does it feel to predict the reboot in your Thomas intro? Exactly. Yeah, I was going to say that. I thought, no, I won't bother. I won't take credit for it. But these were my templates that I made for. I think I made for Bertha first, and I altered them a bit for Shed and Project G1. Thomas has no cab. Oh. And it's all sort of PC stuff. I've really struggled to find PC stuff, that could be in the titles. That there, you guys won't remember this. There was a big, there was lots of these protests in China, and this fella famously stood in front of a tank. I don't know what happened to him, but he stood in front of a tank, and the tank couldn't get past him. It would have had to run him over. I don't know if it did or not. So that's what's going on there. Thomas is actually just blocking a tank, and the lettering, I just use Google Translate. The lettering is something like rebellious upstart interferes with government process, or something daft like that. And there's lots of these things because I really didn't have enough. After the episodes, you're going to show us the 3DS files. Oh yeah, I might do that. Yeah, I never thought of that. So these are like the simple ones. It's just like Thomas opens different religious centres on Sodor, which again I don't have any problem with. I hope no one has Tourette's, because that's going to upset you. And that was slightly different because you saw Thomas sort of turned like he was, because it's rendered a certain way, because the camera angle's a certain way, it's meant to like it's turning as well as being on a curve with the ball, and Thomas tilting to one side, trying to make it he's trying to make it look as though it's tilting to one side. You see all the weird I never noticed that before. The weird effect on the lettering there. That's my frame blending. I'm trying to make it look. I'm trying to make the movement nice and smooth and everything. You may have TVs that do this as well. Optical flow, it's called. It tries to add, it tries to add frames that aren't there, and sometimes it goes wrong when something's really too fast. I think that's what it was, because I animated it too slow and had to speed it up. OMG, red running board. Oh, it's just red around the sides, isn't it? Yeah. And now for the biggest revelation in my models.
It was a lovely
side
day on the island of
rods.
Sodor. Thomas was approaching
This is the first model I made, the first scene, and I put side rods. Did I say sideboards? He's got sideboards. He's got side rods. Now I had a problem with side rods. You probably noticed they disappear often. I can make them link to the wheels, but when I turn the engine, so if he turns around turns a bend or something, the side rods stay in the same direction and I can't fix it. It's really getting me wick. That's the old model. That's more or less the Shed 17 model with not much added to it. You can tell by the weird bend of the red arch on his front, front side, and that weird grey stripe, which I'm kind of like, I don't want to get rid of it because I kind of like it now. It's like my trademark. Everything's got a grey stripe. You won't know this, I have a grey stripe tattooed on the side of my head. And obviously there, the chain at the front is not connected to Thomas. It's one of these things, God, I wish I got around to fixing that. And if you look, as Thomas is moving, because the light isn't like the sunlight, the shadow's bending as if the sun's only like a few meters away. You should be going like, no, the heat!
Of Sodor.
Yes.
Thomas was approaching the station.
I think I had updated all the other engines because I never really had good models of any of the other engines. That's
Hello, my name's Thomas.
This
Who are
is-
you?
He asked.
Hello, Thomas. I'm
Shinty and Windy.
Shinty, and this is my brother Windy. We were
went through a lot of messing with these models. So I got photos of real, because I wasn't confident making models at the time. Went through a lot of photos of gypsy caravans, and so these textures are from photos and pictures. And I talked to Jacob Jarrett quite a lot about this, and he suggested different things. I know the windows with the eyes in is a bit carsy, you know what I mean? Carsy, yeah. Bit carsy, bit what's that other thing? What's that other Thomas rip-off? Where the eyes are the windscreen of the engines. I've forgotten what it's called. You guys will know. And that's what that is. The accent is not meant to. No, not planes. The other thing that's not cars or planes. Chuggington, there you go, thank you. Party Up 210 Productions. Chuggington, thank you, Tons of Trackmaster. Thank you, BF Trop Official. Some new names this evening. Not seen quite a few new names I don't think I've come across. Yeetus Deletus remembers that show. Yeah, let's all forget that show. So, the accent I put on isn't meant to be anything. It's just, I think it's like a sort of Devon kind of accent, but it's not meant to reflect these characters or anything. Hello, Thomas. I'm Shinty, and this is my brother Windy. It's kind of a farmer kind of thing. And then we've got Farmer
travelling
Oblivious.
around the northwest
joke
of
there
England
being, "Hi,
when we
Dostakos
came across the
Caesar."
island of Sodor, and your nice
There's
farm.
Farmer Oblivious. Obviously, Oblivious just means he's completely unaware of the problems he's going to have. That's the joke. On the right hand side there, just where the comments end at the top, some weird, I don't know what that is. Maybe I've done some photoshopping, some of that you know, the sticking plaster stuff. I don't know what's happened there. It's got all weird, hasn't it? It's gone all weird behind him as well. Behind the farmer, just to the left. That's weird. That's the best way to do a commentary. Talk about things you don't know.
Thomas said we could stay in the field
Hey,
for
Spirit
a few
fanboy.
days. Thomas was pleased to meet new people.
I do this at work. If you ring the shop where I work, I do the answer phone voice. And seriously, I sound like I'm narrating Thomas the Tank Engine. Thank you for calling. Our store opening hours are blah 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 and blah blah blah. I play it back and I'm like, oh god, listen to me. Oblivious to the chat right next to him. Hey!
He couldn't wait to tell
Got a
the
lot of
other
comments at the
engines
time about
his
the
new
coaches
friends.
being too small. You see this? You see again? I've had to use frame blending because I've changed the speed of this.
He couldn't wait
look
to
when he
tell the
goes
other
through
engines
look when the beams cross Thomas. There's distortion.
about his new friends.
There's distortion where the windows are as well, or it's the motion blur
He
of
couldn't wait to tell the other
the
engines
3D
about
program
his
going
new
wrong.
friends.
There's a weird thing this program does, 3DS. You can have motion blur, but if you're looking through a window, because a window is like where there's no texture, you basically telling the program there's no texture there. You should be able to see through it, and the M99 is going to do a Rolly the Coach. That's okay. Just wondered, and you can't see the motion blur through it. It's weird. James' side rods are on his tender. Have a look.
Friends.
Yeah, that's another problem, you see. You turn James round and the side rods stay in the same place. I must have missed that one. I had a hell of a time with it. The background there is a picture of a lot of houses. And you can actually see, just above James there, you can see the join. You can see where it starts the other way. I should have put it in a much less noticeable position. I feel really silly now. Should have had more houses there. The houses are just very, very, very simple models because anything too complicated makes the program, slow down a crawl. So do trees and bushes. So all these bushes and stuff, you've got to be really careful. If I'm rendering this, and the camera, and behind the camera there's a lot of other rails and plants and walls, you delete all that. You do whatever you can to speed up the program. It's a pain. Hi, Quill and Lockhart. But here's Thomas coming in. The theme tune is just it's my theme tune. It's my cover version I did, but parts of the tune have just been switched off. So it's just the bass, one of the other like accompanying leads, do 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 do. It's because there's about 3 pianos playing in my theme tune. That gets flagged up, They know it's a cover version as well. I didn't know there's a problem with that. Let me just give the cat a treat because she is really getting on my nerves. If you can hear me like coughing and spluttering, it's because I'm in a cloud of cat fur. I've really picked the wrong night to do this, haven't I? Because there's a probe landing on Mars. If it does happen, we're gonna go over to that. Okay. So Thomas stops, sees all the other engines.
For sure.
The signs there are from Jacob, and he helped a lot as well with photos, really good photos of the station, so I could recreate it. It's not perfect, but it's good. He helped, but he got me those old posters, to put up on there. I thought he was going to give me like sort of posters, Thomas posters, but went for this, and this is fine. I think these were all dolled up because I don't think my Gordon was this good for shed. I mean, I only used it like once, didn't I, for blowing up. Didn't do much with Henry. Just that crash. He was awful as well. Henry was smaller than Thomas, wasn't he, in Shed 17? That was what I did, I forgot to say. They all measure up now. They all fit on the same on the same rails and stuff. That was one thing I had to do, and Jacob helped a hell of a lot with that. I was sending him stills. What do you think of this? Oh yeah, but do this. What about this? Do this.
Huffed Gordon. Their kind is the last thing we need around here.
So the joke here is
What do you
Gordon's
Ask
instantly
Thomas.
being...
They're perfectly nice
He's
people.
racist,
Just
but we're
haven't
not going
met
to
them
say
yet.
he's racist.
Oh, Thomas, you're so
It's still in
naive.
the
That's
TV
how it starts.
show.
Then
Fashion.
things start going missing in the area. Then they
Hello,
pave over the field, followed by a lengthy eviction
William?
process, and
Hello,
finally bare
so
knuckle
Nick
fist
Sky?
fights amongst
How's it
local
going?
rivals.
Eatus Deletus says meow. Sophie.
Oh, Gordon,
Eatus
stop making
Deletus says
assumptions
meow.
about people.
But the next morning, Tom by a lengthy
This-
Tom starting area. Then
These are
they
things
pave over the field, followed by a
travellers
lengthy
are
eviction
accused of.
process, and finally bare knuckle fist fights amongst local
They don't make local rivals fight, but different travellers do fight.
rivals.
It's quite good, really. They have a punch
Oh,
up and then they
Gordon,
just kind of
stop
shake
making
hands and that's
assumptions
it.
about people.
I saw a programme about it. I don't go to these fights or anything.
But the next morning, Thomas
Here's
awoke
Thomas
to
in
find
his-
his spare buffers missing.
This is the entire shed's set. You just delete the rest of it and just go inside and film this. I think the actual model doesn't have the walls on the sides. My model doesn't have the it doesn't have the side walls, so they're all together, and it's just sometimes it's convenient for him to have his own separate room. Sometimes it's convenient that they can all see each other and can talk to each other. You know what I mean? And yeah, when I was doing this, I did the wall coming to life thing because I thought that was creepy. And there's the old surprise thing. A lot of this music, I'll point it. I can't remember his name now. A lot of this music was someone else's. Wait, no, it wasn't. Oh no! I sometimes use this guy's cover versions. I'll tell you, this German of Sodor, I think it was. But a lot of this is mine. I just started coming up with little stings, and I've shared them. I've shared them on YouTube for people to use. Please use them, because they're all right and they're not copyrighted or anything. And I'm quite proud of the old the turntable there. Look, just where Gordon's getting to there. There's a weird object just floating in the air. I think I only spotted that recently. So Gordon's linked. So you link that model to the turntable, and then when the turntable moves, Gordon moves. So I wanted Gordon to start moving just before the turntable stops. Watch. But by the time he's got to the end, it stopped. Yeah. And then he goes
That
in.
evening, Gordon
And the side
returned
roads are just kind of falling off there.
to find his antique dome collection had vanished.
I think I added his square buffers. Gordon and Henry were basically the same model when I made them for Shed 17. And I know they don't have anything underneath, so they just have basically floating wheels.
And the next morning, the Fat Controller found
And
his
this I just
suit
thought
had
was
gone
funny.
missing.
So Jacob again made a... Well, he gave us a texture for a sort of going off wood, you know, sort of worn away wood. This was for the old Fat Controller, and I'm pretty sure in Project G1, I'm pretty sure this is the same texture. I just gave it a pinkness. Some of this isn't mine. Some of this is from books. I've got a couple of books I paid for that have all these models in. You look for the models you want, and then there's a CD comes with it, and you find the model, and then you've got it. So all these things are just models from these books. It's just easier. Why is there a window right behind that closet? Why would you have a window there? See, I never thought of these things. I'm useless.
Gone missing.
That's one of my background tunes.
For the next few days, suspicion and...
Even though this is supposed to be playing at 60 frames, there's some kind of... It's kind of jerky at times. I think it's the rendering, or it's me rendering the finished product into a video. Because when you do the 3D renders, you render them as image sequences, so you end up with huge file size folders with like 500 or 1,000 images, and you put them together that way. You get really good quality animations. You see the motion blur on the wheels there, and again the wheels are
Mistrust grew between the engines and the...
Change the mouths on the Chuggington caravans. God, this looks terrible. Maybe it's the media player.
Finally, the fat controller...
So again, this is just funny. The fat controller's still got nothing on, and we're going to see it again. And he's facing backwards.
Let's
see.
For the next few days, suspicion and mistrust grew between the engines.
Don't they both face back?
Arrivals.
Just the one in front face forward. Does she keep looking at Thomas's ass the whole time?
Finally, the fat controller decided action had to be...
Those are photos of the station behind. That's not the real model in the background. Really, Paul? I never would have guessed. And that suit of armour is from the book as well.
Taken.
And the radio. So this obviously is a remake of...
He called for Bobby, the police
Diesel,
engine.
and the music is from The Bill, which was a British TV series.
The engines
about
all
police.
explained what they had lost.
I didn't realise it was actually a pop song by some band or other. And again, he doesn't say anything, he just goes, which I was worried about, because I was like, does it just sound like I'm going, But, never mind. And again, that's just meant to be funny. I think the engine just looks down a little bit, doesn't it?
Engines all explain
To
what they had
observe that
lost.
the fat
And Bobby
controller's
listened
got
intently.
his knob out. Yeah, he does there. He did look down then, and then look up, and then he looks down.
Bobby carefully examined each crime
And
scene.
now you see the clues.
In each
And yet there was no green paint when the crimes were first seen.
one, he found specks of green paint and the unmistakable
When the
scent
crimes first
of
happened,
Welsh
there was no
coal.
green paint. In case anyone's wondering, it is a
Fine.
plot. So here I had a problem. How do all the engines look into this door? So I tried to make a railway line that, the junctions that would point inwards. It's supposed to be funny that when I was doing Shed 17, I wanted Thomas to look around in the shed, and I was going to have rails that just moved coincidentally where he needed to look. I thought that would be funny, but I never followed it through. But you can see there, I've totally ballsed up Edward's rails there. There isn't even rails. Actually, I've messed up his board as well, hasn't it? I've messed up his footboard, whatever you call it. It's turning to one side there. That's weird. But it's part of why it's silly. How is Edward holding magazines? Oh, it's landing now. The Mars rover, it's landing. I don't know if it's... No, actually it looks as though it's still quite far up. They're sort of demonstrating it with graphics. It looks like the Kerbal Space Program. How fucking funny would it be if like them little green characters appeared in the bottom corner? It's like, bloody hell, it's just Kerbal Space Program. Oh, what if it goes wrong? There's them NASA live streams, isn't there, as well? What if it... I remember watching it for hours when they launched that new Tesla rocket. What happens if it all goes wrong? And they're all just like, oh well, never mind. Anyway. he arrived at Henry's shed. Inside were all the missing items. So, new Diesel has handcuffs, obviously at the start. He has 3 extra pipe things on the front, whatever they're meant to be. I'm sure you guys know. He has police car colours on the sides. And he has a kind of big wide dome thing on his head, which is meant to look like a police hat. I'm quite proud of him. The face is made up of different faces. I'm pretty sure that's Oliver's nose. And he has a little bit of stubble. I put a bit of noise, a bit of grain around there, just to make him look a bit more rugged. Because we all like a rugged man. Oh my god, Paul's stream just went really weird.
There's my antique dome collection, exclaimed God.
They don't look very good, do they? There's no detail or anything to them. It's just one colour and the sheen effects, whatever they call it. Oh, the wall doesn't meet the ground either. Look at that. Oh, Paul, you're useless.
Gordon,
My spare bumpers are there.
announced Thomas.
and there's my porn mags.
Hey, I never knew that'd get such a laugh. I love that.
And there's my porn mags.
That was the first one. I recorded that, got about 10 times. There's my porn mags. There's my porn mag. And the first one was the one I used. That was just worked the best. And they're a bit rude. That was where I thought, is it going too far? And then the other engine sort of stop and look at him. Oh no, this was it. This was. I did that a load of times. I mean, whose are those porn mags? And I did that 100 times. Oh, so Sophie's chasing the spaceship on the telly now. You mad cat. That was the first tech I used, and I must have done it 10 or more times. You see the model there? Because you put the face on the model, so it's just a picture of the model, the real model face. You put that on there, and then you add bulges and things to try and make it look more 3D, yeah? So it's not just flat. You know, Shed 17 started off with the faces just being flat. Oh, they're all clapping, it must have landed. They're all alive. Matt Damon made it! And for some reason, if you're not very careful with the nose, you get that weird distorted effect. And it happens with Gordon. Look at Gordon, and he has that. Suddenly, Gordon's nose halfway down goes all weird, and I don't know why. It's not the texture. It's my model. I think that's just where it's changing angle. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. People make, I mean, probably you guys, you make these models, don't you? And they have real 3D faces. And I'm just like, Christ, I wish I could do that. There's never. Hello, Krager X1. That's a new name. Not landed yet. The chute's been deployed. Hold on. And then we get to the earnings.
Sorry for the way they treated the new arrivals.
Percy looks big.
Henry agreed to seek help for his.
This is a bit of a cheat. I didn't like doing this, but it's basically a picture of a tunnel. I think it didn't have rails already. Yeah, I'm sure it didn't have rails already. And then just added some. The bars are just photoshopped with a bit of a gradient colouring on them, and he's behind, and he's perfectly happy in there. Henry in jail. It's a cheat because it's a real photo. I didn't really want to do that, but there you go.
His debt to society. All the engines agreed not to be.
Oh, and there you see that's a different angle, but the other two engines would have been in the way at this angle, so I've had to take them out. You just highlight the engines and hide them. You don't have to delete them or anything. I've done that before. Delete stuff and think, oh shit, I shouldn't have, and I still need that model. Bloody hell. So they're all happy again, and a nice touch, even though this is just a still, a nice touch is to have the eyes moving around. And I'll probably point it out later on where I've been a bit lazy and not, animated the eyes or anything.
Just of people.
Ginger Ninja Lewis is remaking a scene from episode 1 of PC Adventures, and he'll tweet it when he's done. Very good. I should have said, has it landed? I think it's landed. They're all punching each other. Yeah, woo! Yeah, I think it's landed. Wouldn't it be cool if we could get real video I know it's too, they won't be able to send, you won't be able to post much video all the way from Mars, but what if they could? Real video from another planet. Anyway, sorry. It's just a still, but the eyes are moving, and I'll point out later on. Oh, I should have said as well, that guy that did the animated version of the porn magazine, I fucking loved that. Excuse my language, but that was brilliant.
Because they're different. And Gordon agreed he would never again be such a racist bastard.
That's probably going a bit far as well. Not offensive, but just getting a little bit silly. Putting some bad language in it and that. I don't know why. There's something really funny about beeping bad language. I liked South Park much better when they beeped the bad language because it made it seem more. It made it seem more like an innocent show with just a lot of people saying stuff they shouldn't. Anyway, this video, it's probably hard to see on this stream, but it's actually running at 60 frames. Nice smooth frame rate. Now, one thing I've always noticed was that the titles had a low frame rate. They've got a sort of more filmy frame rate, and so that's one thing I did here. Put the tiles in and lower the frame rate a bit. It's called posterized time, and you just set a new frame rate, and that's what I do. Tommy James, me and my friend laughed at the intro more than we should have. Soda Engines, they landed on the bastard. Is that a Dan Duke reference? In Dan Duke he said that. His dad or his granddad was presenting the moon landings, and instead of making some deep meaningful comment, he just went, "Shave my ass, they landed on the bastard." Was it a Dan Duke? I hope it was. They landed on the bastard. And then you see all the other real presenters sort of like looking embarrassed and that. Oh, and what does he do? He talks over Neil Armstrong's famous speech. In the end, that video was just like, hey, look, guys, bad language. Right. So Brendan Poddy. Oh, there's a photo. Look, it's sending photos already. Isn't that awesome? Did you see when they first had a probe land on Mars? They got these. They always colour. The photos are always black and white, and they colourize them later. I'm not sure exactly how they work out what the colours are meant to be, but then they noticed one of the wires on the probe itself was the wrong colour, so they had to change that colour a bit, and they realised that the sky and everything was pink and all this. Originally, it looked a lot more like Earth, and they realised they hadn't coloured it properly. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, titles. So Jacob Jarrett, like I said, helped a lot. Joseph Marshall, he was the guy that got me to do Shed 17 in the first place. Well, to do a Thomas video in the first place. And Swindon Sudrian, star of the famous meme, man talks about Project G1 and then his friend walks into the room, if you remember that. But yeah, he's been he's very helpful. I'm pretty sure it was me, it was me, Swindon and Jacob, and we're all having this chin wag on. I don't remember what we were talking on now, but showing them different models and stuff. Brandon Pauly supplied sound effects. Thomas Remaker 123. He had a collection of sound effects, and I think I asked him, and he said yeah. He said yeah, that's fine. Now then, didn't I also credit him for music? Maybe I didn't use his music for this. Maybe I've changed the titles for the following videos. Oh no, that's it. German of Sodor. Yeah, it's his music. That was it. Yeah, it's the incidental music, the background music. Yeah. And then my theme tune is done by Rotund Director. For some reason, YouTube flags up the closing theme, but not the starting theme, even though I'm pretty sure they're the same thing. Overkill. That was it. And that was performed by Charlie Morgan Andy Pass. That's the Bill theme tune. There's maybe a bit of rampant showing off. So yeah, the titles at the end always have, it's always just Thomas, isn't it, smiling at the screen, at the camera, and then we reveal that actually it isn't a still. And there's actually things going on. It's kind of like, what is it? You ever seen Police Squad? And they always have the still at the end for the titles, and then like the bad guy's sat in the station and escapes, or he's pouring coffee and carries on pouring this boiling coffee. Just having a drink. Oh, don't talk this long usually. Quite like that though. Sort of comes and has a look, goes back. It's a bad render. And that was a new Holzbids logo that I just added. I wanted to make those little stars more flickery. Don't think it really worked for this one, but yeah, a bit more flickery. Okay guys, so now it's time for our first quiz of the evening. Let's just get back to the what's it, and we'll knock this off, and we'll go into. Let's find the first quiz. It's not the shed quiz yet. No, it's something even cooler than that, guys. It's the Thomas Obscure Character Quiz. Da-da-da-da. Now, usual rules. So, everyone pay attention, okay? I don't want to get all bossy. We're going to go through 10 photos of obscure characters in Thomas. These obscure characters, by the way, are from a website where it's like a Thomas fan site, and someone asked, name some obscure characters, and I picked the first 10 names that people had offered up, okay? Knowing me, these will probably be really not obscure, really common characters, and you guys will be like, Paul, these aren't fucking obscure at all. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. And I'm not being clever. I could never name any of these. Okay. So here's the rules. Don't shout them out yet. Write them down. So just write one and then name it. Okay. And then we'll go through them again, and then you can shout them out. Okay. And then, because I know you guys are really honest, you can then tell me how many you got right, okay? I know you won't cheat. You didn't last time, so I know you won't cheat. Okay? Okay? So let's go to. No, and remember, don't shout them out. Don't put them in the chat, or you're doomed forever. Your keyboard will electrocute you. Okay, here's the first one. 3, 2, 1. It's not Harold the helicopter. It's the other one. And don't shout it out. Remember? Don't shout it out. Okay, we'll give it. Hold on, I'm going to time it. Probably should have got my timer app out ready before. No, that's not right. No, that's not right. I'll do it as a stopwatch. Yeah, no one shout them. Okay. Okay, let's call that 30 seconds. So here's number. I think number 2 actually is a really easy one. Okay. Here's number 2. This is an easy one, so I don't think we'll play this for too long. Okay. Okay, alright, here's the next one. I don't know what the next one is, can't remember, but here we go. Who is this? And I forgot to blank over his name board, but I'm pretty sure you can't. You wouldn't be able to read that. Oh, yeah. I could use a real theme tune, but I'd get flagged. And then my phone would give me an electric shock. Okay, that's enough for that one. Here's number 4. That's easy, says Jeffrey Almeida Baba. Josh Productions knows them all. Ben M99's singing the theme tune, the countdown theme. Starting to think I shouldn't have given you 30 seconds because this is way too easy. It's not the fella on the left, by the way. It's not a trick question. Okay. Name the fella on the left. Fuck knows. Here's the next one. I don't think I'm spoiling it by saying this chap may have 2 names. Either will be acceptable. Hello, press to guess. If you just joined us, don't shout out the names of the engines yet. Everyone's writing them down. And then we're going to see how many everyone got right. Here's number 6. And... oh, they're getting harder now, aren't they? I bet you... oh, yeah. Sorry, the chat's blocking his face. Oh, shit. Oh, well, that made it harder. Didn't think that through. Oh, look, it's sending photos. They're like cloudy photos. They've messed the lens up. What if someone just went over now and just wiped the lens? And they're all like... they found out it's all fake. And here's number 7. Oh, and it getting tough now, eh? Bet you're all scratching your heads now, eh? You're all doing very good. I honestly thought there'd be people shouting out the names, but really aren't. There were when we did the random obscure characters. Eaters, deleters is screwed. Oh no. Damn it. Okay, let's go to number 8. Now I remember, I know this one is tough because I saw this on a film. Hello, Josie Animation Studio. Don't shout out the names. Don't shout out the names. Spirit Fanboy. Don't shout out the names. They're you write them down and then we'll go through them again. And then you can shout them out. And then you tell us how many you got right, and then we'll decide who won. Okay. I remember I watched a film with him in the car, not the Fat Controller, and I tweeted it. I said, "What's the name of the car?" And nobody could get it. Okay, so here's number 9. Oh, it's getting tough now, isn't it? I bet you're all going, bloody hell, I don't know who it is now. Bloody hell, Paul, you could have made this a bit fucking easier. To which I would say, hey, don't swear. Don't effing swear. Don't swear. Okie dokie. And finally, ta-da! Who is it? Is it James the Red Engine? Is it Tony the Bloody Engine? Is it Pinky the Pink Engine? Is it Billy the Boy Racer's best friend, Steve? What the fuck are you talking about, Paul? And there we go, that's it. So I'll go right back to the beginning, and we'll go... Sorry, wait a second. There we go. We'll go back to the beginning, and then we'll go through the answers. Bloody hell, Paul, I didn't know it'd be the fucking... be like a fucking school quiz. Right, we'll go through them quick, don't worry. Okay. So, number 1. Anyone? Any guesses? Nathan, you jumped the gun. You jumped the gun. Well done, Toby. It's Tiger Moth. Well done, BF Trop. It's Tiger Moth. Yeetus Delete says it's JJ. I think he's joking. Adam Banana says Tiger Moth. Everyone says Tiger Moth. Tasty says Tiger Mouth. I'm pretty sure he knows it's Tiger Moth. Mr. Tommy says Tiger Month. Tiger Moth. Nathan the Saddle Engine says she. What did you think it was, Nathan the Tiger Engine? Oh, he's retracted the message. Yeah, Tiger Moth. Yeah. I'm pretty sure everyone got that. This is the next one. I think is the easy one because you guys always talk about this. You always say, "Paul, make this guy." Any guesses? Coldy. That Sonic Guy says Coldy. Tommy James says Coldy. BF Trop says Coldy. Fluffy Winter says Coldy. Soda Engine says Coldy. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Coldy. Party Up is Coldy. Miss Tommy Engine says Coldy. Taste says Coldy. Everyone says Coldy. Sketchy says Coldy. Jeffrey Almeida doesn't know which one it is. Jennifer Hume says Coldy or William. You're all wrong. It's Steve the Purpley Engine. You see, you should have looked in the books. You've got it wrong. He's looking all embarrassed there because his boss, the medium-sized controller, is walking around with his knob out, and no one wants to tell him. That was the name of the book. The guy with the knob. Fucking hell, Paul, why don't you grow up? Right. Number 3. Who was this? Oh, Party Up to 1 already gets it. Jeffrey Almeida doesn't remember the numbers on the mountain engines. Oh, don't worry about that. The medium fat controller. Tatsonish Guy says Wilbert. Soda says Wilbert. Tommy Engine says Wilbert. Tommy James says Wilbert. Fluffy Winter Uwu says Wilbert. Nathan the Saddle Tank Engine says Wilbert. Jeffrey Almeida Barber says Wilbert. Tasty says Wilbert the Forest Engine. Josie Animation Studios says Wilbert. Everyone says Gustavo Games. Roblox, that's a new name for us. Tonight says Wilbert. BF Trop, I don't think I've said hello to him yet. It sounds like a new name. He says Wilbert. Josh Productions 07 says Wilbert. Sketchy Girl 7 says Wilbert. Well done, it was Wilbert. Let's go to the next one. Now, come on, we must get in hard now. Come on. Admit if you're stumped. Admit it. George. This is totally easy, isn't it? I should have consulted some of you guys for this quiz, shouldn't I? George the arsehole, says Fluffy Winter Uwu. Obviously we don't like him. Does he crush people? Did he crush that guy on the left? Can anyone guess who that guy is on the left? That'd be pretty good. Oh, William isn't saying George and William. He's pointing out that it is William we're talking to. I get it. Right. Spirit fanboy is also called George. That's why you said before, didn't you? It's me. Well done. Fluffy Winter Who says George crushed his Happy Meal. Finn99 says it's Steamroller. Josh Productions 01 says a workman. Clearly, it's Keith's friend, Paul. What the hell? Okay, you're jumping the gun. Party Up 2-1 Productions is jumping the gun. Yes, it's Bear. I'm sorry you couldn't see the. I'm sorry you couldn't see the chat. There we go. Then we'll put the chat back on. It was Bear. Everyone says Bear. Bear. Except for Beat. And someone says Growl. Yes, that's right. Yes. This was the one, when I looked this up, he actually can also be called Diesel 1701. I'm guessing that was his original name. And then he rejected his slave name Bear. Or he rejected his slave name Diesel. And decided to be Bear. And number 6. Come on, this is getting hard now. Come on. You're all going, who the fucking hell's that? Never fucking heard of him. Who the fucking hell's that? The fuck is that? Proteus. That's on its guy says Proteus. Soda Engine says Proteus. Party Up 2-1 Production says Proteus. Nathan the Saddle Engine says Proteus. Or Proteusy. Sorry. Oh, Fluffy Winter doesn't know. Well, you're being honest. You just delete this, isn't sure. Oh, we're getting tough now. I'm not laughing at you. Soda Engines thinks it's a reskin of Sir Handel. Adam Banana doesn't know who this is. FinM99 thinks it's Duncan. FinM99 thinks it's Rebecca. It is Proteus. It's a bit of a modern-y name, isn't it, for a series tank engine, a series engine, not tank engine, a series engine, isn't it? And it's Proteus. That was the evil computer in Demon Seed. Fucking hell, he's talking about old films again. Quick, get him to change the subject. Fucking ask him about something. Go on, talk about something he fucking goes on. Ask about Newcastle. Here we go. Number 7. Now, someone actually already did get this while we're doing it. Party Up 2-1. Oh. He's gonna be guessing the shed quiz before I even start it. You just delete says, why am I thinking of burritos? Is that like is Derek some kind of burritos brand colour? Everyone says Derek. FinM99 says Bertie Fuffers Ford. Okay. Sorry about the crinkling. I'm just Jeffrey Almeida. Sorry, no. Sorry. No. I'm misreading messages. FinM99, I think you know it's Derek. I don't think you think it. You've already said Derek. Why are you saying Boko? Here we go. So, number 8. Come on, this is tough, because I remember I was on Twitter and I asked, what's the name of the car? And it took ages for anyone to find out, to work it out. Eatus Deletus says it's Boko as well. Okay. Winston. Party Up 200 Production says Winston's Dumb Adventure. Is that a real story? Fluffy Winter Woo Woo doesn't like Winston. Says he doesn't need to exist. Tommy James is saying Winston. He's obviously German. Yeah, Winston. We called it biofusion. Me and the fat shit and Winston. We all went down to Soda Research to make biofusion. And I didn't want to point it out at the time, but his name is on the side. But it's blocked by the chat. To show you. Look, you can see his name outside. Never mind. Right, number 9 is... Come on. I want to get a tough one. I just want to get to one where you're like, oh, I haven't got a fucking clue. The Fatmobile. Quick to the Fatmobile. Fat past. Fat past. What would Fat Man's boy wonder be called? What would his faithful assistant be called? Holy railway line, Fat Man. Yep, everyone's guessed it's Bertram. Oh, Yeetus, it says it's Evil Guy. Oh, is that the name of Batman's... Tommy James has a very negative comment about Bertram. He does look a bit... He's nasty colour, but we don't judge people on colours. Nathan the Saddle Engine says Percival. Hmm? Okay, and finally, let's go to number 10. I bet you. Let's see. Can I... So I never fooled any of yous, did I? Never fooled any of yous. Okay. Oh, Fluffy Winter Woo says it's Prince. You just delete us. Oh, he's joking that it's James. Duke the Sleeping Beauty Engine. I finished the scene. It's on Twitter. Okie dokie. Oh, Soda Engines didn't get 8. 8 was... Oh, Winston, yes. Okay, so how many did you get? Come on, let's see who won. Let's see who won. Nathan the Saddle Engine got them all. Hang on, I better write all these down. Nathan the Saddle Engine. Soda Engine said 8. Oh, that's so. God, everyone did. Okay, I think everyone won. Peter Deletus didn't lost track. Well, that's alright, I was waffling. Gustav Gaines Roblox says Paul. That's not a score. That's the worst score. That's less than 0. Hello, BioCoal Productions. You've missed the Thomas completely not obscure engine quiz. You missed nothing. It turns out that what I thought were... yeah, you're all winners. Well done. Let's watch another... Oh, hang on, no, let's go to... Let me just check Twitter. Thomas... Hold on. Right, so Ginger Ninja's just done this, guys. Hold on. Middle screen. Let's turn off the chat and then we can see it. But the next morning, Thomas awoke to find his spare buffers missing. Oh, bloody hell. It's a very good remake, but I hate jump scares. Paul, what the fuck are you talking about? I know, I'm a... Whoops, there we go. Yeah, Ginger Ninja makes fried rights at Freddy's stuff. Right, where were we? New video. Here we go. Jumping the gun. There we go. Here's the balls again. The balls of grass. Check out my balls of grass. I know transgender was a bit of a crappy gag. What's Party Up to One production? Sorry about That's a really bad sleeping face, isn't it, for Diesel?
It was midnight
So this was
on the island of Sodor.
Oh yeah. So the idea there is he's got face cream on, which is kind of difficult to make it look like, you know, on a grey face without it just looking like he's very bright. I think I rendered it separately as well and just brightened it up. I think I just overlaid it with the face image and just brightened that up just so it stood out more in this night scene. And he's got cucumbers on his eyes. It just, you know, I thought he would be sort of like, you know, he's a bit vain. Yeah.
Tidmouth sheds.
Quite proud of his Tidmouth sheds, though. This came out really good. Those walls are just, they're just a plain colour, and the bricks are just bump mapping. So it's just they just react to the light source. You see bump mapping in games and stuff, you know, some of that it is flat, but it doesn't look flat. It's that kind of effect. It's pretty cool. Fluffy Wintroo says, "You sure it's face cream and not?" Oh dear. Oh dear. Why is Diesel there? Does he not live there? And I know things like that. I'm kind of stretching.
Or so it seems.
Yeah, Diesel doesn't look like he's asleep, does he? It's not right. This is a better render than the previous one.
Thomas was awoken by a strange noise.
There's a similar thing. Edward is
It was Edward
linked to
sneaking out of the sheds.
Also, I don't think he's on the rails there. I think he's too far to one side, isn't he?
He didn't notice Thomas had seen
He's
him.
linked to the
Where's he off
turntable, and
to
then the
this time of
turntable.
night?
Oh no, wait, he doesn't
Thought
move on the
Thomas,
turntable.
and
Thomas does.
decided to follow.
This is the problem I have, you see. I haven't figured out how to link the wheels to where they're moving, so they never look like they're stuck to the rails properly. They're moving a little bit, they're either a little bit too fast or a little bit too slow. Also, I don't think Thomas has that big hole
And decided
in
to
the.
follow.
See there? I don't think he has that big hole, does he? The real model. What's my favourite engine? It is Henry. And
He slowly and quietly set off,
Kevin.
taking extra care
Not Kevin.
not to wake
Kevin.
any of the other engines.
Thomas has a long neck. Is that too long? Probably when I've changed. Yeah, he has. Probably when I've changed it, I fixed that. That's a new face I made
Wake
for him.
any of
So I
the
just
other
photoshopped
engines.
some teeth. It's probably the rest of the face probably a combination. I probably actually just smeared the eyebrows to make them look more pointy and embarrassing. But yeah, and then you'll see later on Thomas has a sort of innocent smile, which is a similar thing. But yeah, he's linked to the turntable, so if the turntable moved first, he would have moved as well. He'd have gone through all the whole shed, you know. You see on the side there, there's a side rod I missed. Because Thomas was at an angle, the bloody side rod sticking out there. I suspect he doesn't have a side rod here, though they are, they've gone. There's a point where you go, oh, screw this. Who cares? They don't have ears. Thomas should have thought that. It's a good job they don't have ears. And there's a joke about where Henry gets his cucumbers from. Have you noticed there, I've actually fixed Edward, so his wheels aren't floating in the air. It's just a black block. And I should have done it on the back as well. I don't know why I didn't. Quite proud of that sign though. It's got a proper light sources above it, and it's all heavily mapped, so the light on it really makes it look sort of rough and woodeny, you know, like it's pasted on wood. And that's where the gypsy caravans lived, in case you're wondering. Yeah, as if we didn't get that. As if we didn't guess that, Paul. Come on, we knew that, didn't we? This is a very straightforward model. I think I had to cut down on the amount of trees in the background, but it just kind of doesn't look right, does it? First of all, the grey sort of horizon doesn't look right. I should have kept that all black so you couldn't see. It's just a mystery what's behind. Anyway.
On an abandoned branch line,
That's a very simple,
Thomas
straightforward
watched
shed.
as
It's just
Edward
made
went
for this.
inside.
I've never used it again.
After a few minutes, he emerged.
But I finally got the doors right. They don't go through the rails. Now these
Thomas
were, these
couldn't
were
believe
quite
his
hard,
eyes.
because I've not been able to do material.
There was Edward, in the
texture,
strangest
material
outfit.
sort of objects. So it's basically it's just the textures are altered on Edward, and really, really high bump mapping to create sort of fur, to try and give it some depth. It doesn't really have any depth, but yeah, exactly. How does Henry get his suit? Edward get his suit on? Hey Paul, how did you reskin Edward? So I just took each bit of him, each shape, and just added these textures. And sometimes you've got to sort of mess with the size of the texture, because sometimes it'll be heavily stretched, you know. And that's the face is a, well, it's a face again, but it's kind of just a simple thing. The nose obviously is a separate model, and the very heavily bumped map, so that tongue looks like it's coming out, doesn't it? The mouth kind of looks like it's stuck on top of a fur face. The ears are just, they're ovals, spheres, but they're just stretched out, and then there's a smaller one on the inside to make the pink innards, and only slight bump mapping in that. And the back of it is a ball object, which has well, it's actually a grass effect, but you can change what it looks like. That was really hard to do. It's really hard to make it fit properly.
Ever seen?
I think I might have rendered it separate, actually. I think I did. There's a weird thing, isn't there, between this tank and whatever you call this is, I can't remember what I call it now. Tender. And I'm pretty sure I rendered the tail different. Hi, Randy Claw. You missed the completely not obscure engine quiz, but we've still got the shed quiz coming up. So yeah, I had to do the fluffy tail
Next,
separately.
Thomas followed Edward to the Hammer Time where
This is very simple. I mean, the shed here is mine, but the ship in the background is a model. This lighthouse thing is a model. This building next to it's just a model. You know, stuff I got from a book. Very straightforward. I kind of feel like I'm cheating with this kind of thing. Probably should have, you know, worked harder, but you kind of think, how often am I going to use this?
a house by the docks. As Edward went inside, Thomas saw more engines.
He really distorts the light in there.
All inside
Look at that.
the docks. As Edward went inside,
You only really notice that when you do the final render, and it's kind of like, what the hell.
Thomas saw more engines, all wearing equally.
So that's supposed to be Donald or Douglas.
Bizarre
And
costumes.
that's Percy. The Percy one's quite good, isn't it? That one's a bit more simple, a sort of squirrel thing. Yeah, it's a squirrel, isn't it? Of course
Wearing
it's a tail.
equally bizarre.
I quite like the Percy one. The face is good. The eyes are a proper separate model on that one. It's kind of scary, actually, isn't it? That'd be good for a jump scare. Just that Percy face. Ah! Christ, it's like I could do like Thomas and it, and that's the thing that hides in the drains. They all float down here.
Costumes.
Get on with it, Paul.
Thomas couldn't
this is
wait
the
to
first time we
speak
see
to Edward
Edward's
the next
station.
day.
I wanted to have more than one station.
Edward,
The idea is to make. I
What
made
you
these
up to
after
last
Project
night?
G1.
Oh,
The
nothing.
idea is that when I want to make a video now, like a rolly one, or just, you know, anything, I can just go to these models and use them. I don't have to worry about making big backgrounds or anything. You see there, the rails go off to nowhere. You've got to be careful with that. Lots and lots of detail at the background, otherwise it kind of looks a bit rubbish like that. There's many scenes like that. especially at Edward's station. Quite proud of this station though. I think this came out good. Jacob sent us some really good pictures showing what buildings are on the right hand side of this angle, and I've messed up the fence there. I think it's meant to be white, but there's just no texture on it at all. There's nothing. Looks a bit rubbish. Them windows look a bit rubbish too.
Just a little get together.
Get together? Who with?
No one.
Edward's another
friends.
model
No
that
one.
I'm
What do
quite
you do there?
proud of.
We're
Now I've
rehearsing for a play.
Play?
altered
What's it
messed with
about?
Nothing. It's just
You remember in Shed 17 it looked really rubbish. It's totally misshaped and everything.
something we're doing.
Which theatre is it?
No. It's just a bit of fun. It's just something we're doing. It's just a bit
Can I
of
get
fun.
tickets?
No. It's just a bit of
This
fun.
is
It's
quite
just something
good.
we're doing.
Brandon does it his own kind of
That's
way.
Edward's.
Tickets?
No.
And that is the old man from Rolly and Timmy. And the idea is Edward set off too fast and he gets knocked over. And those are the old what do they call them? Commuters that I've always used since Shed 17. I've already been a bit lazy making real people. I really need to, spend a day and just met lots of different kinds of humans. So he gets knocked over. That was quite hard. That took a lot of work to try and make it look right.
As Edward sped away.
And then
Now
we
Thomas was even
we
more
pause the video here, and you can see a little bit of
intrigued.
movement, but that's the motion. That's the frame.
No.
Smoothing.
It's just a bit of fun. It's just something we're doing.
Just to make it look. Yeah, the passengers are floating as well. Yeah, I forgot to
That's
mention
Edward
that.
sped away. Now
And
Thomas
then
was
once I
even.
finish talking, I speed up the image again, speed up the video again, until we get to
More
him actually
intrigued.
falling off. And he does go through the
He couldn't
platform
wait
a
to
little
tell
bit.
the other
Oh, I quite like
engines.
this tune as well. This is one of my
Word quickly
originals.
spread around the island.
Oh,
Soon
yes.
everyone knew about Edward's mysterious
I don't suppose any
motives.
of you have seen the series Big Train. It's he says it was like it was a sketch show by the writers of Father Ted, and it wasn't like regular characters. It was just one-off sketches all the time. And there's this one guy. There's a sketch, and this guy he hears this. He's talking to his friends in the pub, and one of them comes up with an idea about climate change and traffic problems with too much traffic, and he says, "Oh, I think they should just ban cars and everyone takes public transport." And he thinks to himself, "That's a good idea. I'll have to steal that and use it." Fit M99 watches Father Ted. Best program ever. Absolutely brilliant. When they do that King of Sheep contest, I'm absolutely pissing myself laughing. And anyway, so in this sketch, you then see this guy, and he's like a dinner party now with some other friends, and he comes up and he mentions the same idea, but this time everyone mocks him and says, "Well, I live in the country, how am I supposed to travel and all this?" And they all just sat laughing at him. "You're an absolute fool, aren't you?" And one guy, he's just laughing so much, and he just goes, "I hate you! I hate you!" And that's why I did it in this. You can just hear that one of the trucks saying, "I hate you! I hate you!"
Was embarrassed.
That took me ages to do that, trying to make that sound like the proper trucks. Obviously, it's just me
Everyone knew
saying stuff, and then turn the pitch up, turn the
Word
pitch up,
quickly
try and make it as
spread
high as
around the
possible.
island.
Took ages to get this right. Oh, hang on. So what this? Hang on. Let me just listen to what they're saying.
Soon everyone knew about Edward's mysterious meetings.
Yeah. Someone says you blue tosser. Edward, you weirdo.
Edward was embarrassed.
I hate you. I hate you. I couldn't make out the rest of it. One of them is you blue tosser, and one of them is Edward, you weirdo. Oh, look at Diesel on the right. That's just weird. Now, this is an example of me being lazy. This is just a still. There's no 3D animation going on. There's not a 3D camera going through this scene. So the eyes don't move. And this is what I've got to cut out. Oh wait, you can't see Edward. You can't see Diesel. Hold on. Oh, no, it's cropped, sorry. And then that's a second render, because to zoom in on that too much, he'd get too blurry.
Eventually, the Fat Controller decided to intervene.
Here we are, there's a still.
Now then.
You notice here, I've done nothing with the background. I've completely gone wrong there, because I think I've removed all that background, thinking you wouldn't see it, and then it's like, ugh. I don't know why I left that in. Also, the Fat Controller's lost his hands. He usually has that white with the stripes going down, the black stripes going down.
Whatever Edward gets up to behind closed doors and on his own time is his own business. You engines have invaded Edward's privacy
Same there.
and caused him
I'm thinking,
huge
I won't need all that
embarrassment.
detail.
Thomas was upset.
And the signals have gone. Oh my god.
That night, Edward again
There's a good example of the
returned to see
wheels
his
not
friends,
being connected
but
to
not was upset.
the rails. There you go.
That night, Edward again returned to see his friends.
Dark colours always start getting a bit funny when you render them. You've got to kind of render stuff in really high bit rates to try and stop like blockiness. You see on that factory on the right hand side, there's blockiness in the colours. You'll see this on streaming services and stuff.
But not in costume.
DVDs used to see
This
that.
time it was to
When they were
tell
sort of
his
bland
friends
colours
that
like
he
that.
wouldn't be coming to their gatherings again. As he went inside,
And then we have a
Edward
joke
couldn't
about
believe his eyes.
Thomas
There was
obviously
Thomas,
doesn't realise what goes on at these meetings.
James and Gordon, all
Oh, none of
wearing
them do.
costumes.
We've
I
all
think I got
decided
this
that
wrong.
whatever you like to get up to in private, it's perfect.
I think I got mixed up, and Henry was in a lot of scenes, and I realised it wasn't. No, that was the Fat Controller being fat episode.
Fine with us.
Yeah, never mind.
I'm sorry I embarrassed you, Edward. And if it's okay with you, we've come to join in with you and your friends.
Edward was delighted.
Edward with his weird nose.
All the engines agreed that, however unusual
And here we have
it
the summing up, and it's always a little bit sort of, well, no, that's not quite right, is it?
are someone's activities
No matter how bizarre you are, it's perfectly fine. It's like, no, that's not really cool.
are, they should be tolerated and celebrated.
Okay then, let's get started.
And that's my terrible Scottish accent.
Okay then, let's get started.
I can't do a Scottish accent. Why couldn't Donald and Douglas be Irish?
Okay then, let's get started.
And if you... One of them, at least one of them screams is a stock scream. One of them, no, two of them are. I think one's me. I can't remember if Brandon did one there. I was gonna, if you notice, the engines have moved in the background in the doorways, but they're different there than they are when they leave. I was trying to make it more sort of suggestive of what they were up to, but it always went a bit too far. Those railway lines, so that the three engines are in shot for a long time, for longer, those railway lines are actually pointing towards the camera. They're not going, well, the middle one's going straight out of the shed. The other two are sort of turned inwards, so that Gordon and James stay in shot for longer. I wanted to see their screaming faces on screen a lot longer, you know what I mean? And then a little wobble at the end because the engines get a bit too close to the camera. That's always a nice effect, always gives it gives things a bit of I don't know, physicality. If you look there, the camera's slightly off centre from the railway line in the middle as well, because Thomas goes a little bit to one side. Anyway, I've got closing titles. So Thomas is traumatised by something. And I was struggling to think of actually for something for the end titles. I didn't know what to actually do here. This is the thing about wanting to do a joke like that and then not knowing actually what to do each episode. But anyway, Thomas was so traumatized his chain was floating in front of him. So and then he has to look even more traumatized, which again is hard to do. I'm really proud of my Diesel 10 model. The arm isn't very good though. See, the joins aren't really right on it, and that took a lot of work as well to do the massive cucumber. Had to get textures and stuff and try and make this massive cucumber. I'm quite proud of it how it came out, but probably did far too much work on it really. So now he's got a different face. He's got a much more sort of face. And I think every episode I just jazz up Paul's Vids logo a little bit more. Then of course we went on to the the 4K episodes. Right. Do we want the shed quiz now? Because we've got two episodes left. So we could have an episode, then the shed quiz, and then the final episode. Or do we want to get it over with? It's going to be hotly contended, this. Because now it's time for the shed quiz. The king of shed. Who will be the king of shed? Let's fucking find out. Paul, that's a rubbish theme tune. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay, you ready? So, it's same rule. Write them down. Don't shout them out, okay? So anyone who wasn't here before, write down your answers. And then we'll go through them after that and we'll see who won. Okay? Because someone's going to win the Shed King 2021 contest. I nearly said 2002 then. Oh, Fluffy Winter. I added him to the thing on the tweet, yeah. That was just a bit of fun. I was thinking of that Simpsons thing. Who will turn off my presentation? Will it be you, or you? Okay, you ready? Left screen. So it's going to be, we're going to have pictures, but we're going to have a question. So you have to listen to the question. Okay. Let me just get me timer out again. I'll probably ask question first. And then start the timer. Okay, dope. So, can you name Henry's dead driver and fireman? And the timer starts now. We'll give it the full 30. Don't shout them out. Write them down. Right, Spirit Fanboy and Josie Animation Studios and Spirit Fanboy again are disqualified. Nathan L, I'm assuming you're joking. Fluffy Winters disqualified. I told you. Party Up to Productions. You all did this right before. You guys were in the quiz, the early quiz, and you guys were in the quiz, and hold on. You guys were in the quiz, and you still shouted them out. Right. Okay. Next one. Who is the nutcase? Start again. I'm just going to have another drink. It's not alcohol. Right. There. Oh, that's good. I'm assuming you guys are joking, so. Okay, that's enough. So, next one. I've actually got numbers on these, so we'll see. So, what program covered the Flying Kipper run before Henry's crash? And it's going to be a tough one now, isn't it? He was on. This was the dangers of this Kipper run was demonstrated on a program, a current affairs program that no, you're not fully out, but maybe, well, you have to hang your head in shame if you won. Okie doke. I can't remember which number we're on to, so here's the next one. What train was Human Thomas waiting for? Yeah, being in America might have been a problem for that last the quiz before. Actually, the last two questions. Says Paul, trying not to actually blurt out the answers. Thomas is waiting for a particular train, but what was it? Good oak. Next question. Now we know Wilhelm has a picture of himself and Hitler, but what's the other picture in his room? I thought I know there's another picture. I remember the Hitler one, but I don't remember the other one. What could it be? I'm late, I won't cheat, but I'll do it tomorrow. Hello, Rolling Duck Studios. Yes, feel free to take part. You can take part anyway. I'm not sure how many we're up to by now, but we're enough of that one. Hang on, what are we on to? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's number 5. Here's the next one. Who held the nuclear flask test? It was run by a particular organisation, but who was it? That's a tough one, isn't it? Look, that probe's got a helicopter on it. What is it going to do? It's going to fly around like a drone. Imagine if there are people on Mars like that. Fucking hell, what they're doing. Another one. Okay, that's enough of that. Question number whatever. Who was Terry Wogan actually speaking to? He was mocking Keith in Shed 17. But who was he actually talking to on his chat show? He was actually talking to someone, and he said something that got a bit of a laugh from the audience, and it I think he actually regretted doing it afterwards, Terry Wogan. Next question is 3 more. Who is this? Again, this is really for sort of older people or people who maybe memorize the titles. Good evening. I am talking to Keith Utley. What did you think when you first met the talking think engine? Hi, Sir Jimmy. You're too late. Christ, you would have got all these. Next question. Wilhelm Goethe and his son, Hans. What was his wife's name? He brought his wife with him from Germany. Hans met a woman on Sodor. But what? Who's Hans' mum and Wilhelm's wife? I talked for a bit long there and I didn't set the timer, so we'll probably, we'll leave it there. And we get to the final answer question. Wilhelm Goethe. When was he born? We just want the year.
When was he born? Wilhelm was born in Germany. I think it was Munich. But when was he born?
By the way, if there's any Germans watching, I'm sorry about my accent. And that's the end of the quiz. Da-da-da-da. Who will it be? Who will it be? Who's gonna fucking win? Stop shouting the answers out. Baby Dexter, you're disqualified. Okie dokie. Let's go through them. What was the name of the Henry's Driving Fireman in this terrible snowy landscape, which apparently was considered okay by me at the time? This is fine. Yes, Sodor Engine says Alan Barry. Finn M99 didn't get it. Sodor Engine, Eaters Deleter says Alan Barry. Tommy Jane says Alan Barry. Fat Sonich Guy says Barry, I think. Fluffy Winter Woo Woo says Alan Barry. Spirit Fast Fanboy 35 says A and B. I don't know if that counts. Baby Dexter says, okay, YouTube. Oh, I see. Shudo Animation says Alan Burry. As if it's one person. Alan Burry. Alan Burry died from his injuries. Did it sound like that in the episode? Because that might have to count as a right answer. If I sound like Alan Burry, that counts. In fact, Alan Barry. I'm pretty sure I went Al and Barry. Alan Barry. Alan Burry died from his injury. Derek Dosser died from his injury. Sorry if he's watching. Okay, next one. Who was this? Bet Sir Jimmy can shout some of these out. Some of the classic TV ones. Charlie Chalk says Eaters Deleters. Solar Engine says a clown. Spirit Fanboy thought it was Alan Burry. Oh, the previous one was Alan Barry, okay. Anna Banana, Charlie Chalk, Fluffy Winter. Alan Barry can be brought back as long as you have glue. Fat Sonic Guy says Charlie Chalk. Spirit Fanboy says Captain Crunch. This is probably tough for Americans. Sketchy Girl says Charlie Chalk. Fluffy Winter says Charlie Chalk. Nathan else says someone from Bertha. It could be made by the Bertha people. Ivor Wood. Grow up, Paul. What do you mean? Ivor Wood. Mr. Rusty from Magic Roundabout. No, it's not Alan Barry. What's the bet in someone's starting a YouTube channel right now called Alan Barry, and they're gonna turn on and say, "What are you saying about me?" Okay, I just looked it up. That's cheating. I'm trusting you to be honest there. I'm trusting you not to include it in your points. You get one humiliation point for looking it up. You get a hang your head in shame point. Oh, bloody hell. I got 5 points today. Why's your head banging on the desk? Oh, sorry, I've got 5 humiliation points. Paul said. Who the fuck's Paul? Sorry. What was this programme? It was a current affairs programme on ITV back in the day. I don't think they were. Tommy James gets it. It is the World in Action. That Sonic Guy says World in Action, and Adama Banana gets World in Action. Party Up to One Productions says World in Action. Fluffy Winter was World in Action. Soda Engines doesn't remember. Never mind. Baby Dexter says it's Freak Britain. Eatus Deleter says world in action. Sketchy says world in action. Tubio Animation says world in action. I thought this was going to be hard. Nathan says world in action. Well done. Well done, guys. You're bloody geniuses. By the way, I should point out, if you asked me these questions, I'd probably be like, on some of them. Yes, Flying Killer also counts. If you just said Flying Killer, that also counts. Because so if you didn't get it, if you didn't get World in Action, but you did remember Flying Killer, we'll count that as well. Okay. That was just that was the name of the episode. Okay. So remember to count if you got that. Frying Cripper. 1983. Hang on, no, you got it right. Yeah, you got it right. So yeah, okay. Next one. What train was Thomas waiting for? It didn't have a name or anything. It was yes. Soda Engines gets it at 11:45. Tommy James gets it at 11:45. Tube Animation says, why does Henry have yellow and blue lights? They're not. It's just, they're just lamps. I'm splitting hairs. Every time you split a hair, I lose a hair on my head. I had a full head of hair when I made Shed 17. Party Up 2-1 says 11:45. That's on its guy says 11:45. Adaband Balana says 11:45. Nathan L says passenger train. Rolling Duck Studio says question mark. Nathan the Saddle Tank Engine says 11:45. Spirit Fanboy says 11:45. Sketch Girl says 11:45. Baby Dex says Class 8. Fluffy Winter Uwu says 11:45. Yeetus Elite says 11:45. Ginger Ninja says 11:45. Fidam99 says 11:45. Express BR Class 33. 11:45 is fine. Dos Stacco Caesar, leave some time and we're watching Shed 17. Damn, you've missed the quiz, mate. Sorry. Okay. What was the other picture? Oh, and Party 2-1 instantly gets it. It was a picture of Thomas, and I even added a bit of colour before I did the mosaic effect to try and trick you. It was Thomas. A real photo from the series. Not something I made. I was going to blur over the other one, but I thought, nah, everyone's going to get that. I thought, would it catch people out if I did the other one? Baby Dexter says it was Cranky the Crane. Right. Let's get to the next one. How many have we got left? Quite a few. Who actually did this nuclear flask test? Now, there may be multiple answers for this, because this company, this organisation, had a number of names. The name in my film was the real company that did this real test. Part Up 2-1 Productions gets it. It is Windscale. Paul starts wheezing, he's going to die. Baby Dexter says 1984. Larry the Loco, that's right. Larry the Loco was a really useful engine. Jeffrey Almeida says it was Alan Barry. I think only one person got this. It was Windscale. It was Windscale in real life. The idea was that they transported nuclear material in these flasks on trains, and Greenpeace and that were up in arms saying like, what if one falls over? What if the train crashes? And another train comes on and crashes into it. So they set up this crash, had it laying across the rails, and I think they put something in it so if it leaked, you could see that it's leaking. And then they crashed a real engine. So this guy's in the train and he just, puts a brick on the pedal and leaps out. And this empty train, and the coaches were, they said they were weighted, so it was like it was as if they were full. But Greenpeace still complained and said, "Oh no, it's all been faked for this test." But there you go. What can you say? Question number 2. This is a tough one. I'm thinking Sir Jimmy might get this. He's been unusually quiet as well. If that's on its guy, you didn't block him, did you? So Terry Wogan was on his chat show, Wogan, and he was interviewing... No one's going to grab it? No. He was interviewing David Icke, who in the 80s was 70s and 80s, a sports presenter, BBC sports presenter, and suddenly he announced he was Jesus. And he came on this show, and people were laughing, listening to him, and he said, like, oh, it's okay, there you go, Jimmy gets it. And he said, it's okay to laugh, and he said, oh, they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. And everyone clapped and that, and he's, oh, yeah, okay, and all this. It was funny, even his big 3-hour speeches are on Amazon Prime for some reason. But now he's an anti-vaxxer. So it's not funny anymore. He's just a cunt. Did you just say that, Paul? It's okay when you're talking about anti-vaxxers. Next question. Who was this? This is a tough one, because you'll only see it in the titles. When I played him. This fella presented a show called Weekend World, which was on like midday. David Icke got YouTube banned. Good. I imagine he would. No, it was Brian Walden, and I prepared a special presentation for you. This is the real Brian Walden. There's my Brian Walden, and there's a real Brian Walden. Mine? Real. Mine? Real. Mine? Real. Mine? Real. That isn't a title either. He had it like permanently stuck to any suit he wore, just so people knew who he was. Just so Shed fans knew who he was. And he talked like this. Good evening. Anyway, next one. What was the name of Wilhelm's wife and Hank's mother? Was it No, young Abby Collins married Hans. Rolling Dutch Studios says it's Olga. Eatus Delita says Olga. Fluffy Winter Uwu says Olga. Oogler. That counts. Baby Dexter thinks it's Maria. Sketchgill says Olga. Nathan the Saddle Tank Engine. No, you've got your wives mixed up there. Those tubular animations. Actually, he hasn't even got the wrong answer there. Mrs. Hans. That's on its guy says Olga. Party 2 Up Production says Ops. Okay. Venom99 says Miss Gertzer. That doesn't count, by the way. Fluffy Winter Ugu. Yes, you did get it right. Yeah. No, you spelt it wrong again there. When you said Olga, my bad. That's Ogla. Ogla. That's the fella in the background who was just staring at him. Ogla. Are you ogling? Yeah, I'm ogling. Oh, it's autocorrect. Mrs. Blank Stare. I don't do women very well. Okie doke. Is everyone getting the stream right? Because I'm getting a warning here about the thing not playing back properly. Bitrate's too low. Okay, next question. Last question. When was Wilhelm born?
Wilhelm was born in Munich.
And I wouldn't have got this either. 1903 says Adam Banana. Party Up to Production says 1903. You Just Delete It says 1903. Pin99 says 100 BC. That's Solid Sky 1903. Percy Gamer 1903. Rolling Dutch Studios guesses the 1895. Fluffy Winter Uwu says 1903. Nathan the Saddle Landing says 1903. Finham 99 says Dinosaur Age. To you guys, I was born in Dinosaur Age. You know, Sir Jimmy thinks I'm fucking old. He was born at the Dwam of Time, the dawn of man. And Dawn was pissed off. Okie doke. So, who gets to be King of Sheds 2020? Who will it be? Let's find out. How many of them did you fucking get right? Adam Banana got 6. Do we have an advance on 6? Eatus Felitus gets 7. That's on its guy. Gets 9. We may have a winner there. It may be That's on its guy. Party Up 2 gets 8. Party Up 2 gets 8. Rolling Duck Studios 4. Never mind. I probably would have got 4. Finham gets 2. Nathan gets 4. Sodor Engines gets 3. I think it would be the one I can't bloody spell. Hold on. That's next guy. And I think our winner is That Sonic's guy. Oh, it's all cockeyed. Hang on. That Sonic's guy. Da, 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 da. 8's good. 8's very good. Tubular Animations. What did you get? I didn't see your comment. What did you get? You haven't told me what you got. Why did you say what about me? You haven't told us what you got. I would have gotten 5 if it wasn't for the colour instead of brown painting blurred out. Yeah, you see? Try to catch you out there. 'Cause I'm a bastard. Okay. Well done, That's on its guy. Take a screen grab and yes. Because that isn't a real Rosetta. I won't be sending it to you. Sorry about that. Well done, well done. You all had to go at it. I wouldn't have got 9. No chance. So let's go back to our film. So we're now on to episode 3, Percy's Revelation. Let's get to the titles again.
Percy works at the big station.
That's a new set.
He loves...
Again, Jacob sent me a lot of pictures of this area. I think he suggested this. Just, you know, because I needed somewhere new. I didn't want to get too lazy. Someone pointed out that the coach goes through the back wall. I don't think it does, though. I don't think it does.
Percy works at the big station. He loves playing with the trucks all day long.
It's really close.
Bashing them around, making fun of them.
That's quite a hard animation to do. I had to do a lot of messing with the speed and everything, speeding it upside down long, just to get it right.
Them around, making fun
he falls
of them,
down a little bit slow, doesn't
undermining them, making them feel inferior.
This is the Edward Station set, just from
for them,
one side.
Trolling them online.
If you remember, this is where Edward gets bullied. But obviously the trucks are not happy this time.
But his favourite...
This is a hard shot as well, so the camera is still, it's only rotating, it's zooming in, because I want to try and get all of Percy, but I don't want to show that he's pulling the wrong trucks, he's not pulling the carriages.
Favorite job is when
It's quite
he brings
difficult.
God.
And if I'd done it by moving the camera towards him and then pulling it out, I think it showed too much of what he was pulling. So it's actually just a still camera that's zooming in and coming out. I just noticed his little bump. You know, he's got that gold bump on top of his shaft. And he's got that green bump, and it's floating in the air. Look.
For the X.
Look there, see? There's light under it. I don't know why I'm pointing at it with pointer. You can't see that.
Here are your coaches, Gordon, he proudly announced.
Percy.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do a Project G1 quiz as well. Rolling Dutch. I added a sizable amount to the Shed 17 IMDb. Holy shit! Is there a Shed 17 IMDb? I am in so much trouble. Fuck. Hang on. I've got to look this up. Hold on. Sorry, service is temporarily suspended. Oh, hang on. No, that's not it. I don't want the app. Somebody's playing Cruella de Vil. Shed 70. Oh my god, there is as well. Oh, fucking hell, look at this, guys. Hold on. Look at this. There's a fucking Shed 17. What's the world coming to? Who's Christian Nairn and Rick Robles? Oh, I get it. Right, okay, I get it. Rick Robles is the narrator. Terry Wogan. What if Terry Wogan's like relatives look this up? Like, oh my, I'm in so much trouble. Fucking hell. Rolling Duck, Eddie Mossack. Can you take off Terry Wogan and Ringo Starr and that? Because I'm going to get in so much trouble if they find out. And Daniel's alright. This Christian Nairn, I bet he looks up himself on here. I'm going to be in so much shit. Hold on, I'm fucking up now. There we go. What else is on this? What else is on this? Technical specs? What? Oh, it's widescreen and HD, okay. And it's colour, okie doke. Explore more. We're going to get to goofs and I'll get really pissed off. Parents Guide, fucking hell, that's going to be a bloodbath. There's no... Oh, here we go, right, summary. Well, there's no synopsis yet, okay. Parents Guide. 15. Oh, we. Words like F, S, B, and A are used but are censored. Was ass used? Arse might have been used. Yeah, you're right, arse. Oh, God. Oh, you make me sound like a monster. Hang on a minute, let me, so I can still read the comments. You gave it a 15. Well done. Got the photos there. Lots of stills. Is that from the episode or is that my still? One of my stills. I mean, you know, is it a screen grab? No goofs. Why is there no goofs? I'm sure there's a million people want to put the goofs. Genius twist on a familiar franchise, says Snow Leopard Master. Definitely not for the faint of heart. Definitely not. Isn't fit for little kids. True. Good, smart, creative. Too heavy though as a short film. Still good as pie. Good as pie. A modern classic. Oh, these are nice. Is it free on YouTube? Yeah, I won't charge anyone. Oh, this is the worst Thomas movie I watched. Like, who came up with this? It's so messed up. They're so angry. Everything starts with a capital letter. I think that's it. I assume the external guide goes to... Oh, I think the blog, is that my blog spot? That's gone now. The wiki. God, there's some arguments on that wiki. You guys do like to argue. Right, let's go back to the video. Thanks for doing that. That's awesome, but not complaining, but can you take out the people that are in it, you know, unwillingly? I'm a bit concerned I might get in trouble. I'm going to be taken down just because that fucking fella out of Game of Thrones was complaining. Oh, thank you. He's doing that right now. What a dude.
These aren't my coaches.
So they're the sewage containers from an old Rolly episode, which I took down because I was worried it would offend someone. So, yeah. It's the one where there's a stinky engine. That one. Yeah. And he's pulling a really, really, really long train. Oh, this is the new Thomas model as well. Yes, it is.
Express.
Well done.
Here are your coaches, Gordon.
So this is where I really
announced
realised
Percy.
how different my Thomas was. So you notice, so yeah, he did have a long neck, didn't he, before? So that's all altered. He still has that grey stripe. You see just in front of his one, that grey stripe. His arches, his red arches are right now. Oh, and his running board bends down now. It's not completely flat. And I think, was my old Thomas, did he have a grey top on his running board? And he was never properly red, was he? Now he is. He was always a sort of a light red, a faded red. But yeah, I'm quite proud of that actually. It's pretty good. But you know, you need people to show you. Jacob sent us some orthos of the original models, which are really good. You can see there's a bit more detail in the background to this station, but you see I still messed up. There should be a wall between those pictures of buildings and the model itself. And if you look, the mountains actually floating. They're not actually touching the ground there. Oh, I wouldn't have done this now.
See, these aren't my coaches.
So he finds out
Yes,
draw
he
to it.
was.
So the big joke here is, it's not. The problem, what's happened isn't that. What happens is it wasn't that he's pulled the wrong coaches. He's revealed that the Fat Controller is called the Fat Controller. This was
Embarrassed.
I just thought it was funny, you know. What if he's been going for so long, and what if he's been going for so long and he's never realised he's called the Fat Controller? I mean, has anyone ever said it to his face? Has he ever called himself? Has he ever said, "I'm the Fat Controller"? He probably has.
Oh dear, please don't tell the Fat Controller.
Yeah, there's no wall
Hello?
there. That's right.
But it was too late.
Oh yeah, doing a sting bit of music. That's hard to do as well. You know, like horror films, they have those little bits of sting music when something jumps out. So, ta-da! They're hard to do. And so, yeah, I added a little bit of a sting. But I had to do a lot. I had to do that a lot. I've been going for 2 hours. Oh, waffle on, can't I? I can waffle on when I took cocaine. I'm joking.
Percy, did I hear you correctly? Did
That's
you just
basically
call
my
me
old model.
fat?
I just photoshopped a different face on him
Is
there.
that how you
If
all
you notice
feel?
the long shots, he's still smiling. Again, these little
The engines didn't know
uncomfortable
what to say.
stings. Diddly. Not really shock, but just sort of. And here I cheated and didn't show the door opening, which that's a bit of a con actually. That's just me being lazy. Paul, read my previous message. I just asked you on Twitter, ask if they were good. They were good explanations. What you're summarising? Of course it was. Very good. I'm not sure if I don't think I used this sad music before this, had I? And then we have the same joke. The old mosaic. Just for the record, there is nothing there. Oh, yeah. Why I should remove the actors. Well done. Let's just have a look on Twitter. Oh, do you have to explain? Oh, no. Oh, shit. Okay. Rolling. Oh, hang on. Oh, Rolling Dutch Studios also listed the ones he got right and the ones he got wrong. You got a good few there, right? And someone's done a little picture of me in a by any means necessary t-shirt, jacket. Sonics. Is that Sonics guy? Get on with it, Paul. Stop messing about. Yeah, for the record, I didn't make him a. You know, I haven't done a. Cyberpunk on him. There's nothing there. It's just a mosaic over nothing, just for fun. So here's some stills. This is quite hard because I wanted him to stay widescreen, but I just couldn't find photos. Sort of right. This Greg's for Americans. Is a shopping. It's a chain in Britain. They sell pies and sausage rolls and stuff, and everyone seems to love them. Again, this is a cheat, really. Wimpy is like a McDonald's chain. I think there is still some in Britain. There was a lot more of them in the 80s, maybe the 70s. If you watch Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, the film, they're in a Wimpy. I couldn't tell you which. Sorry, I couldn't tell you which Greg's that is. Remind me later on. I'll have a look at the picture and just see if he's got a name. So here he is walking past. Oh, there's real people in the window. Whoops, I got that wrong, didn't I? Then he goes to McDonald's, which might actually be an American McDonald's. Oh, there's a real person in the window as well. Damn it, Paul. This is. So I made the room, but this bath and everything are from that book. It's just handy. Yeah, we'll go into that. Now you see this. This is a zoom in, but it's actually done as an animation.
Thomas and his friends hadn't seen the fat controller for days.
The camera's actually zooming in on this. It's an actual animation, and I think actually the eyes are animated in the 3D program. Normally I do that later, but I'm getting more sort of confident at doing that properly. But you see how it's different? Even if you don't register it, your brain knows that this camera's moving in 3D. It's not just a still image being...
for days.
I
You know,
feel bad about Sir
getting bigger.
Topham Hatt. We need to show him that body image is important and that he should feel confident, however he looks.
But how do we do that?
This is where I got mixed up, because I think I kept thinking James was Gordon, and I think I had to keep going back and change it. I think I had to change this scene, actually. I think Gordon used to be where James was. And then I realised, oh no, I've messed up.
I feel bad about Sir
James who
Topham
gets
Hatt.
fat at the end. I've got to
We
do
need
James.
to show him that body image is important and that he should feel confident, however he looks.
But how do we do that?
That's right. I
I
did
think I have
Gordon
the answer.
I did Gordon in the shed with the McDonald's. Now I looked this up, right? Do they get the water through that spout through the chimney? Because I looked this up and I saw this being done. I can't remember what I saw. I think it was Thomas taking on water, and he was taking on water through his chimney. Yeah, there was a clip of it was Gordon eating McDonald's. And then I realised my mistake and had to change everything to James. So he's getting loaded up with saturated fat, which makes him fat. Again, this is a model from a book, but it's okay. Again, these eyes are animated in the 3D program. This is me getting a bit more confident about animating this stuff. They're kind of floating though, aren't they? They've got a shadow. Always have to be careful not to have shadows. Thomas has tanks on his sides. It's usually the side tanks. Maybe I saw a different engine getting filled up that way. There's a small tank hole like a car when they fill up. Oh, well, never mind. Oh. Got glitchy. I wish I had this program when I was trying to do glitches for Project G1, because I really struggled to make glitches. This is again my theme tune, but I've changed the instruments a bit. It's got that the lead is now just one of the pianos, because like I said, I use about 3 of them to try and get that really nice sort of bright theme tune. So the joke here is that he's arrived with the chocolate for Mr. Jolly's chocolate factory. But he's eaten all the chocolate, and as you see there, there's no end to this set. Being lazy again. This is actually Edward's station. I just rebooted it a little bit. I know it doesn't look anything like the chocolate factory in the series or in the video game. But yeah, it's like a repackage. It's quite hard to actually edit all that in and fit it in that tune, which just don't sound strange.
After weeks of preparation.
And then figuring out how to make this work. You know, how do you reveal the engines being fat, but then also have a surprise reveal for the fat controller? That was quite difficult. So in the end, I did it this way, but it was quite. I was really. I don't know if you remember my old streams. I talked about this when I was making it. I was like, it really wasn't coming together properly. I really thought this one was going to be, rubbish. I don't think it's definitely not. It's definitely the worst of the 4. I think
it was time to visit the fat
What
controller.
do you guys think?
I
think it's the worst
can't
of
wait
the
to see the
4.
look on his face. He will be surprised.
The engines were shocked.
Again, there's not much detail behind them there, but there's a bit more to it. I've moved that mountain a bit, so it's not floating anymore.
What happened to you?
This is all your fault.
It was Dr. Engine.
I struggled to come up with I've run out of voices. I've struggled to come up with a voice for Dr. Engine. I did this quite a few times. And he's like, this is all your fault. Will you release this theme as well? Oh, yeah, I'll do that when I think on. I mean, it's not very good. It's only like a very simplistic one. So I just did like a posh voice. This is all your fault. Best way to do voices, I think of someone you're trying to mimic. Even if it's someone you know, try and do their voice. That's how you come up with new voices. That's how I do it anyway. Come up with new voices. But anyway.
Your heartless name calling and body shaming.
Again, this editing this was hard.
Dangerous
it was just weird, you know.
And your attempts
Didn't
at
work
making him.
You see the nose again on Thomas. That's because I made it bulge so it stands out more. But the lighting on it, the shadowing on it goes a bit weird. Also, you can see that the fat bits are overlaid on the original Thomas model because you can see you still see his paint job and his number 1 underneath. Oh yeah, I should say Dr. Engine is just Diesel 10 remodded. And of course he's a doctor, so he has to have a stethoscope. And yeah, as someone did point out earlier on, the engines don't have ears, so yeah.
Feel better have just made matters worse.
Thomas and his friends were very sorry for what they had done. Everyone
These are all
agreed
stills.
that
Again, I had to keep going back, so I was like, oh, I haven't got a happy still for Percy. I've not got a sad still for James. It was constantly going back and forth.
whether dangerously malnourished or more.
And then there's like a really inappropriate summing up, you know. Even if you're dangerously malnourished or morbidly obese, it's fine. Don't none of you take this seriously, okay? It's not fine to be malnourished or morbidly obese, okay? Just for the records.
obese, everybody is just fine as they are, and they should be accepted and celebrated.
Well, no, I didn't say that exactly. Well,
Whoosh.
I guess I'll be going back to the chippy 4 times
control
a day.
gets-
Well, I don't recommend that at all.
In control gets
And
dragged
as
along
for
with the wind.
us,
That'd be pretty
I
funny.
guess we'll be on a diet of water and
Would there be
slimming
a
pills for
fireman
6
engine?
months.
That's just bloody stupid.
I'm gonna make bells.
Please, can I just get everyone's attention, please? Am I the only one talking common sense here? Really? Is everyone just going to ignore me?
This was hard as well. Because I'm like coughing and that, and then I have to try and make some sound effects. But editing it in and everything was weird. You know, kind of.
Yeah. Really? Is everyone just going to ignore me?
Heart attack noises. I don't really know how to do them, you know. But what do you do? Is it choking or what? You know. I can't animate him so he's gripping his arm or anything. So I don't know. So he's coughing. I should have had him do Godfather 3, where he just starts like shouting stuff and that. Altapello, yeah, fuck, it's just thunder, just bullshit. And then this as well, for some reason this, going clear. I had to do that 100 times, but it just didn't sound right. I had to get really loud to make it come out right. Really weird. So then, there's the other Thomas face. This is the embarrassed smile face, which he uses in the next episode as well. And then I thought, I'd better show that he's fine. Also, when he disappears, the engines are still there in the background, which I thought was quite funny. So his attempts to cover him up go wrong. Do you know, I did this originally and I forgot he was fat. I animated this with normal Thomas. And then I went back, I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. I don't know what that poster says, holidays in, looks like Sodor.
He's fine.
Just had to make sure he was okay at the end, just so everyone was like, yeah, he's fine, don't worry. And yes, his side rods have disappeared. Got sick of side rods. And I did that a few times, where he's fine, or he's okay, or I don't know. I said it a few times. I said different things. He's fine. He's okay. So, yeah. Let's get on to the last one. Henry's Dilemma. The AMD page will change to Ringo, Christian Terry, Rick Robles, aren't there? In the next few hours to overnight or so. Alright, thank you. Eater Sleep says God to the face. Which face? Again, Dr. Engine is made up of other engines' faces, which you guys might recognise. I'm pretty sure I drew those eyebrows in, photoshopped them in, pretty sure. So here's the next one, and I'll tell you something amusing about this straight away.
Thomas.
I forgot to use the new model, and I had to redo all this again. I was just using the old scene from the first episode, and I suddenly thought, shit, I've changed the model, haven't I? Yes, so it's just a silly joke, this.
Who lives at the big station on the island of Sodor. He's a cheeky little engine with 6 small wheels,
kind of like, oh, the narrator's an
a short
asshole.
stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler.
Yeah, Thomas always comes with side rods, but I usually have to remove them if I'm having to move him round or anything. They're an absolute pain.
And a short stumpy driver. Oh.
So that is Keith on the right. Obviously, that's a bit of a clash of my different canons, but I just thought, what the hell? And next to him is the same model, just with a nice little moustache. I don't think I'd ever done Angry Keith before, had I? But yeah, that's just to wreck the cannon. I had some trouble with this actually, getting them all in one shot. I know that probably sounds really weird, but getting them all in one shot was difficult. He had to be stood on one of the rail sleepers, so he was a bit higher up, so he was in shot. If you notice as well, his legs aren't attached to his body. But, oh well, never mind. Can't win them all.
Oops.
Played by Warwick Davis in live action. Oh, that's not cool. Oh, I should say these were done in 4K. This one and the one before. Doesn't make any difference at all. I was around with my brothers once, and he had a 4K TV. He said, "Put YouTube on, see what mine." Because I can't. I ain't got 4K. I ain't got a 4K telly. I've got 4K monitors, so I don't know what they look like. And it really doesn't make any difference. And it takes a hell of a long time to render stuff. You're doing 60 frames a second, so every frame, every second is 60 images that have to be rendered separately. And then, I don't mean I press render every single frame. I'm not doing stop motion. But it takes forever. You've got to leave the computer overnight, rendering. And then you realise something's wrong, so you've got to go back and change it and then do it again, and it's an absolute pain. The original Thomas model is still in the image with the tanks. What, the saturated fat tanks?
And his friend.
I think I have the answer.
What scene with the tanks?
Thomas. Exciting evening on. It was a very lives at the.
You mean this model? That's just meant to be like a cartoony model. I mean what you said in the intro. Oh, yes. Oh, I never thought of that. It is, yeah, it's the old model. Oh, one of you guys would spot that. Can't get anything past Thomas fans. God, why not take the piss out of something that didn't have a big fan base? I knew I should have made that fucking James the Cat piss take. This was all redone in 4K, these titles, so if you were to compare them, the 4K titles to the normal HD titles, it will be. It's moved round a bit. You know, everything's kind of placed differently, slightly differently, just to make it fit better. So I don't know whether Thomas was originally in front of the Adventures sign there, but I'm not doing 4K again. It's not worth it. I'm still gonna do 60 frames, but it just takes forever and it's not really necessary. You know, it's just a pain.
It was a very...
I should say about the theme tune as well. Tried for ages to do the theme tune properly, and I followed. There's people online on YouTube who show you how to play it on a piano and things. So I did a lot of learning, and those, what's that piano program called, where you can see them being played on keys, something I can't remember. And there's lots of different versions of the Thomas theme. Some are really detailed, some not so much. So I use bits of all of them. You know what I mean? Sketch Girl's going. See you later, Sketch Girl. Everyone say bye-bye. So it was like a bit of a mixture of different versions, but making it sound as good as the original theme. The original theme is so good, isn't it? It's really stand out, and there's something about it. It's really lively. It's really good. And I had to try and do that, and after a while I just said, sod it, I'll just try and imitate the original as closely as I can. I knew I would never make it exactly like the original, so I was just gonna do try my best to copy it, but I knew I would never do it like the original. So the lead, there's about 3 different pianos going on in there. There's like a grand piano, then there's one of these, what do they call it, honky tonk pianos going away, ding 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 ding. There's all that, and I'm playing. I've got a MIDI keyboard, and I'm banging every note out on the keyboard, you know, because it registers how hard you hit the key, so it's louder than that. And I'm like bang 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 for every note, trying to make it lively as possible. The only thing I couldn't mimic was the I can't remember what it's called now. It's like it's like these wind-up organs. You sometimes see them in, you know, if you're going out shopping, you know, in shopping centres and things like that. You sometimes see them, big good things. You see them at fairs, you know, big good things, and they play notes from big rolls of paper. You put this paper in, and they've got holes in telling it what to play, and it all plays stuff, but it's automatic. I'm trying to think what it was called. But I couldn't mimic that. I tried to find some MIDI instruments, some VST instruments that would mimic it, but I couldn't do it. I found one, but you had to pay for it. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. You can get a lot of VSTs perfectly legally free, by the way. I'm not nicking them around. But yeah, no, it's not a pipe organ. It's not one they're playing. It's called... Hold on. Let me just go to the logo. I'll find it. Called... Hold on. Where is MIDI files? VSTs, sorry. Plasma, protoplasma. Calliope, well done. That was it. Yeah, it's a big good thing. It's not like thing they turn a wheel or anything. It's I don't know how they're powered actually. Are they steam powered? I don't. Anyway, I couldn't do that. I couldn't find a Calliope. Well done for spotting that. That was pretty good. I looked it up. I looked up people talking about how what the original instruments were, and that's where I got this stuff from. Yeah. It kind of sounds like a steam engine, doesn't it?
It was a very exciting
Now,
evening.
this is my example
on the
of
island
laziness. Instead of a camera moving through this scene in 3D, it's just a still image, and all I'm doing is zooming in on it. Well, increasing its size. I know it's lazy, but this one again had a lot of problems. I kept having to go back and re-render stuff because things weren't right, things weren't working.
Sodor, Henry was finally returning after 3 months of renovations at Crewe.
There's a new Henry model in
this
this
to welcome him
because he's become.
In keeping with our commitment
he's
to
become,
appear more environmentally conscious,
electric.
please welcome Henry, the electric engine.
Oh, now this tune is the entrance music for the wrestler Mr. Perfect. I'd done this once before. I actually used the actual music for this intro for the villain in my Battlestar Galactica spoof, but I recorded this myself, so it was more Thomas style. I just love it as a kind of an intro tune. He's heavily reflective as well, Henry, for this. Really overdid it with the reflections and stuff, and then added a bit of glow to it later. Yeah, look at that shine. That's what I thought. Added a bit of glow to it, but it was only an outward glow to get that kind of Die Hard movie lighting effect. You know what I mean? Where it's like lights and stuff.
Hiya, everyone.
And then I had to ruin it. It was kind of like I had to put in Henry's camp voice, which I haven't got in trouble for yet. Fingers crossed. But he's more garish, isn't he? He's got a big Henry sign and a 3. Oh, and he's got the lights, like Joy Boys had under the cars at one time. The Fast and Furious sort of lights underneath. What do they call it? What do they call it on GTA? I can't remember what they call it now, but yeah. So he's got these lights underneath. I had to stop doing it because it was the rendering was taking so long. I had scenes where it was just taking forever. I was like, why is it taking so long? What's slowing down so long? And after a while I thought, shit, it's them lights. I didn't even notice because apart from this scene, the rest of it's in daylight. I completely forgot. No, because I'm stupid.
Henry, what on earth happened to you?
So yeah, I had to do Thomas's voice.
Entirely on electric power.
Difficult to do.
His shed and every.
Oh, here we go. This is a model I made from scratch. I looked at pictures of electric charging points and made this, and I thought it'd be funny that Sodor Electric should have a company called Sodergy. No doubt Fat Controller's what's with Thomas' voice? It's me. I had to do this one. Gustavo Games Roblox says, I think I should stop telling jokes about Shed 17. Go on, tell us a joke. Okay.
Station now has charging points.
And I just stuck these on different scenes and just took different shots of them.
His tender is now one massive solar cell.
That's like a new texture. Took out his coal neons. Well done, thank you. So I flattened out his coal texture, his coal top, and just gave him that.
Making Henry completely carbon neutral. Henry, tomorrow you
and I thought this would be funny.
Express.
That rolling your eyes like that would really hurt, wouldn't it?
Henry was delighted. Oh, thank you, sir.
Really hard to do that voice. You've really got to get into you've got to get kind of camp and cheerful and
Okay, I'm really excited now.
see, I can't do it. Oh, thank you. I might have to start using a bit of pitch shifting just to give him a bit of a higher voice.
Hey, I'm Henry.
Is the Henry model permanent? No, he'll have his old one next time. Don't worry. So he rolls his eyes and it really hurts.
That bloody
So these are
hurts.
the
Why do
new
we
faces
do
for
this?
him. That mouth is made by me. That's not from another. It's not from another model. And I do a lot of that distorting. You know, the little finger on Photoshop, just to distort the face so the mouth's a bit bigger, and that distort the nose so it looks like he's sort of, pull. If you're in pain, so you sort of pull your nose up, don't you? You scrunch your nose up. That's that kind of thing. Or his eyebrows, turning his eyebrows up a little bit.
That's right.
But there's three faces going on there. His eyes closed, there's gritted teeth, open mouth, and his eyes closed, gritted teeth, and eyes closed, open mouth. I can't remember if I used them all.
Painful. Oh my God! How come no one told me how much this kills?
Henry
There's
arrived
this
bright
is
and
my
early at the
background
big
tune
station
again, which you heard in the
next
first
day.
episode.
He was very excited to be pulling the express. He proudly blew his whistle.
Now can anyone guess where that whistle comes from? I know it's not really a whistle. So I thought about this for ages, and what should I do? Should I do like a Mac starting up or something like that? That kind of joke. I just thought you should have like a digital whistle, something else, because he's like modern. It's from a game show. That's right. It's the wrong answer. Yeah, well done. Adam Banana gets it, and Party Up 2 gets it. Family Fortunes, which I think you Americans call Family Feud. Tommy James do the rolling eyes. Can you do it that fast? You could probably do it fast if you were watching something go that fast. If someone gets a laser pen and does it on a big wall and just goes round and you go like that. Why am I saying go like that? You can't see me. Anyway, now what went wrong with this? I had to go back and do this again. All the timing was off with this.
Henry arrived bright and early at the big station the next
Just stop
day.
being lazy and put
He
people
was
in
very
these,
excited to be pulling the express.
Put
He
people
proudly
in these,
blew his whistle
stations.
and set off exactly on time.
Oh, the sound. His engine sound was hard to do as well. I was looking everywhere for sound, going through samples, trying to find, because I keep tons of samples. I've watched films and stuff and then stopped and gone, oh shit, that's good, I'm having that. When I was doing Project G1, I needed so many sort of motorised sounds and, like for doors opening, electronic doors and things like that. I had to do loads, like the big arms that come down and drill in Clarabelle, things like that. And I'd be watching films and stuff, and I'd be like, "Oh shit, I'm having that," and I'd stop and record, have them play on the computer and record them off the speakers and things like this, anything like that. So I had quite a big collection of motorised noises. In the end, I realised my best thing was to get some humming noises and actually change the pitch myself. So I'm doing that in the program, in Premiere, in the editing program. Doing it in the end, but that was so hard to do. I was messing around for ages trying to get a decent sound. I think I settled on a couple, and then you editors you filmmakers will identify with this. You do something, you think that's okay, and then you come back to it the next day and play it back, and you're like, oh god, no, that won't do. I do that a lot. I did that recently with the trailer for this channel. I made like a sort of industrial style Henry's Sad theme, and I was like, well, I'll leave it now and play it again in the morning and see if it's any good. Still tweaked it a couple of times. Right. Those coaches, by the way, are doubled up Annie and Clarabelle's. I'll play the sound again. They're double
Express. He proudly blew his whistle and set off exactly on time.
Can you hear it? That engine starting up. They're double Annie and Clarabelle's. It's just two next to each other. Different paint job. And then the base and everything is sort of stretched out. And yeah, and then the wheels and stuff. Yeah, some of you have probably noticed the number of coaches Henry has changes in this. I think he goes from 3 to 1 after a bit. Also, one of these signals doesn't have a texture. Look up there. Can you see it on? No, you can't see it on that screen. Hold on, there you go, see? Doesn't have a texture. I was kind of like, well, I'm not going back and fixing that. I'll show you something else that I had to fix. Well, I won't show you because you won't be able to see it, but again, this is the first model I made for episode 1. See the mountains? You can see where the texture ends. It's not a seamless texture for grass. Why didn't you change it, Paul? Because screw you. No, joking.
Pulling the express was easier said than.
Rolling Duck Studio says it usually happens after the video comes out. In my newest video, I've got to add a table element in a shot. You do, don't you? You go back later and you think of something. What did you guys point out I got wrong? In something. Oh well, obviously that's the old Thomas in the Tiananmen Square picture. There's something else, wasn't there? There's something else that a continuity error before, wasn't there? Oh, by the way, side rows aren't continuity errors. We'll just make up some reason why. Is the whistle from catchphrase? No. Do you want me to tell you? Or do you want to keep guessing?
Done.
Oh, he's got two coaches there,
look. He
look.
reached Edward's station.
Again,
he was
stuff
exhausted.
like this. It's like something went wrong. He stopped, and then maybe he didn't look at Thomas, or didn't look long enough, and then he turned away, or he was still looking at Thomas as he set off. Weird like this, you know. Middle coach wheel went Thanos snap. Yeah. I thought you mean like a sound effect then. Hey, you see the back of this scene? There's a lot more going on there, isn't there? I'm being a bit more picky now. I quite like there's a bit of bump mapping going on the Sodigy thing. Anyway.
Hello, Henry. You don't look very happy.
Hello, Thomas. You don't sound proper.
Oh,
Things like this, you've got to remember to have all the right, get all the right faces and stuff. Cause you're there editing at the end and you go, oh shit, I didn't get that face, I didn't do this one, I didn't do this.
Thomas, I'm knackered. I just can't summon up the
These are
energy
stills.
I could when I was steam powered.
I pointed out the goof when
I
Henry
think
departs
getting
Knapford Station.
reassignment surgery was a huge mistake. And with that, Henry said,
Oh, look at that. Now, to save time, this is a problem with doing the 4K stuff. I rendered Henry and Thomas on top of just a still image of the station, because otherwise I've got to render the station every time. Now, if the camera is moving, you have to render the station, the whole set, at one time. But if he's not, you can just get the background. You can just do the background and then just the bits that move. So you've got to animate Thomas because he's in front of Henry, right? Percy game, are you going? I hope you had fun. But you see Henry, because he's overlaid on the background image of the rails, he's not on the rails properly. But, one of them things, it's just time savers. If you didn't have time savers, I'd still be making this shit off. This was quite hard to animate as well. You kind of take all these shots. You take all these shots and then you're like...
Get out of the way, you stupid old bike! Move! Move it! Look out!
"Oh dear."
But you're taking all these shots, you're rendering all these shots, and you have to kind of edit them together and do like sort of action scene, there's a lot of, because Henry doesn't travel much distance, every time you cut back to him, he's moving back a little bit, you know, or he isn't moving while he's off camera, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is hard to do as well because she is moving in the 3D program, but I'm going to move the camera as well. So look, there. And she's still moving. So you've got to time that, and you've got to speed it up, slow it down. You've got to make sure the music is moving, it is playing with her moving. That was a pain in the ass, I tell you. A lot easier when it's a still image, because you can decide when Mrs. Kindly moves forward. But I want to do this shot. Just wanted to kind of establish where she is and what's going on. Also, this is the shot. There was something left on the screen. This is the shot I was going to tell you about.
The assignment surgery
sorry.
was a huge mistake.
Oh, reassignment surgery. That's a bit of a nod towards what's going to come up later on. But yeah, I tell you what, there was something, I think it was part of a signal or something, and it was stuck just near the tree in the middle, and near Mrs. Kindly herself. There was something there, and I was like, oh shit, I'm going to have to re-render this now. But I found out in After Effects you can do that content aware deletion. You know what I mean? You know this thing, that this like sticking plaster thing you can do in Photoshop now, where you draw over something you don't want, and it kind of figures out what you want to remove and what should be there instead. Like recreates background. Sometimes it doesn't work very well, but I found that you can do it in After Effects. It takes a while, you know, it takes a long time. You have to work out every frame and everything. But it actually did a good job. I would have to look at the original to see where I'm covering it up there.
Huge mistake. Off.
But this is a really hard shot to do. Also, the background. You see, I've tried to add a bit of detail there. I'm covering up that the rails end by having lots of trees and stuff. I know it looks a bit plain with all them brown leaves and stuff, but any detail just to, you know, cover up how simplistic it is. But yeah, again, editing this was hard because you want to do sort of fast takes, but then do you just do the voice? Do you just do the voice of Mrs. Kindly and go ooh when she's on screen, or do you have her doing that saying that off screen? I want to try and do it when she's just on screen, but you know, never mind. Also recorded Henry 100 times. You know, had to really do it loud. Sort of, hey, you stupid old bag, what are you doing? I have a terrible voice. I'm not. Even though I'm shouting my head off, I don't sound loud. The trailer for this stream, I'm shouting my head off. I had to lock the cat out and put the cat in another room because she doesn't like me shouting. Just so I could be like, hey guys, do you like this? And then pretending I'm shouting at the game and stuff. Nightmare. Anyway. And then I found a nice bit of, oh, there you are. There's a little bit of special effects going on as well. It's a long video, it's hard to navigate through. Look. Some stock smoke and stock smarts. Do you like me smock smarts? Paul, you sure you've not been drinking? No, I don't fucking drink at all. Now check out my Spock Sparks. Me stock sparks on the rails. You don't see it very often. There's some stock smoke as well. Really nice. You can get stock stuff. You can get stock stuff from YouTube and that nowadays. It's really easy to get. But, and then found a nice sound effect. I wish I had that sound effect when I did the old fella falling over in the Edward episode. But never mind. This ambulance is from one of my books as well.
Always been very careful to listen out for steam engines.
Did I get it from a website?
Crossing, but Henry didn't sound
also,
like
it's got the Southwestern Ambulance Service on the side. We'll just pretend that We'll just pretend that Sodor bought it cheap. Sodor Hospital bought it cheap. This is a selection of still images, and then the foreground, the Fat Control and the fence are overlaid, but in 3D. So yes, it's from Family Fortune as well done, Nat. And I'm panning out in 3D, so the closest stuff moves a bit faster. You know what I mean? But the image in the background, the ambulance. The reason I did that was because the ambulance, for some reason, took forever to render. It literally did. It was just like the program would say pause for rendering this and all this, and for every frame, I wanted to show the ambulance drive away and stuff, and I couldn't. So you see this, and then you see the doors have already shut. And yes, that's Billy the Boy Racer. Can't remember why he was in there. But I think someone said before it was for that. No, what was it? It was when someone wanted to see Percy on drugs, and I thought, oh, I'll just set it up here and it'd be funny, and show off my phone box model, and I just kept Billy there. Thought, what the hell? It's funny. Nicholas Ortiz says, when I saw Thomas Beech's Avengers, Henry was pulling 3 coaches. The middle doesn't has 4 wheels. Yeah, I think there was some wheels missing as well. So yeah, these are still images, but there's a bit of 3D going on.
There's only one thing for it. You will have to make engine noises.
What? Now, I did that a few times where I wanted him to do like sort of what? Or he could do like, you what? Or I can't think of any others. Excuse me. Is there any deleted scenes? Not really. There's just bits that I never used in the edits, you know. But there aren't extra scenes or anything like that.
To protect our more elderly pedestrians,
So you see the doors shut now.
You will have to sound more like a steam engine.
Oh, that was a bit of an afterthought, doing his rolling eyes. I did that in this shot. The eyes are done in After Effects later. It's just two dots, 2 ovals, and you're just moving around. Really, Paul? I never would have guessed. But yeah, trying to do him rolling his eyes was quite hard.
Engine.
Oh, and he breaks the 4th wall and looks at the camera, which I always like that.
As Henry set off, he didn't know what to think.
There again, I think I did the chuffing quite a bit. Oh, did you see as well the Fat Controller moves when Henry's in front of him? But I don't know whether he might be moving. He might actually be moving. You might be able to see him moving through the windows of the court.
By now, Henry could have engine. As Henry
I should have maybe done a chuffing face where he's going chuff 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 chuff. But never mind.
off, he didn't know what to think.
And he went so fast he glitched down. Yeah, if you're worried about your wheels
By now,
turning
Henry
properly,
could
make them
hardly
black,
speak,
people can't
let
tell.
alone pull the express. As he saw rain clouds
So the idea for the
approaching,
ending was,
he decided
originally it was just that
enough
Thomas was going to do a
enough.
big speech about
He
how
went into a tunnel,
no matter how much he's
with
suffering,
his
this is for a good
redundant
cause,
funnel
and basically the message
and
at the end
wouldn't come
was,
out again.
don't be such a, don't mourn so much.
First,
Stop mourning, this is for a good cause. So after that, Thomas is like, Henry's just like, Henry was happy to carry on his duties, and he's just like straining and going like, chuff, 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 but he still has this stupid grin on his face, sort of like, yes, I'm really enjoying this. That was the original joke. And then the idea he gets electrocuted was more of a sort of
Henry to come
punchline,
Then more
a little bit
engines
more
arrived.
of an ending, a bit more of a full stop. There's Diesel and Ferdinand. Always try and put Ferdinand in. Ferdinand always pulled Rolly, didn't he? Well, usually. I love that model, and I haven't used him enough. I think that model came out really good. I love my diesel, that diesel model as well. Diesel 10 and that diesel, I love them. And like I say, I'm going to make Bell. I might try making, try making Bell. And those ladies have see-through, reflecting heads. But it is raining, I suppose. Ferdinand isn't actually linked. You can't just click on the model and move him around. He's all his parts aren't connected. I never made him to move, so one day I'm gonna have to properly animate him so I can make him, move around on the thing. Yeah, Belle. Yeah, Belle is a female. Yeah, I'm gonna make Belle. Trust me, it's for a good cause. One day I'll finish my Kevin, but with good Kevin comes good Cuban friend. What's his Cuban friend called? I can't remember, but anyway, let's just call him Cuban friend.
The Fat Controller.
Henry, this is no
That's a
way
really rubbish
to run
face for
around.
James, isn't it? He's just like totally Victor. Thank you. I am Victor. Oh, Kevin, you're such a moron. Is Henry's whistle from Family Fortunes? Yes, it is. I think you guessed it before. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, you guessed it before. I'm sure I answered Joe when he said, "Is it from Family Fortunes?" Never mind. James is just like, "Why am I here? I don't even give a toss."
Away. You must think of your passengers and finish your
Was James
journey.
there to convince Henry to come out of there for the laughs? So you can still see this light, but it's in daylight now, so it's not really necessary. And God, it was slowing down the rendering. It's alright for stills like this, but for the animations, Christ, it slows stuff down.
No, I can't pull a full train.
You see how it's
And
lighting
make
up
chuffing
inside the tunnel
noises
as well.
all
Inside
on
the tunnel,
one
there's no
charge of
texture. It's just a solid
electricity.
black.
And getting soaked as well.
See again,
I'm
there's no
never coming
detail in the
out
background
again.
there. I think there's even rails missing.
Eventually, the passengers decided to try and pull Henry out.
The rope's quite good detail.
My doctor has forbidden me to pull.
Aye, we know.
That was hard. Because I wanted him to... I think I went back and re-recorded this a few times. At first it was kind of like, yes, we know. Or, we know. Or, I don't know what else he could have said. Oh, really? You don't say? Something like that. But didn't get the laugh I thought it would.
Decided to try and pull Henry out.
Could have made a
My
joke about
doctor
pulling
has
Henry, but
forbidden me to
probably
pull.
best
Aye,
not.
we know.
But it was no use. Finally,
Oh,
Thomas
here we go.
approached Henry.
My pièce de résistance. My Henry's sad theme colour version. Now, I wanted to do this. I wanted to do a really good, dramatic Henry sad theme for Project G1. Yes, FinM99. I'm sure I'll do more quizzes in the future. Not tonight, though. But yeah, it was actually only recently I found someone online who showed us how to play it on a piano. What is that? That's weird. There's a fella on the news being interviewed, and he looked like he had a really small arm, but it's just perspective. Oh, it's weird. Sorry. So yeah, my Henry's sad theme, and it loops quite a lot. And it gets more and more dramatic, and I had to cut out a couple of the links, when it goes from quite calm to a little bit more dramatic, then a little bit more those links, I had to cut them out a little bit and do it. So, but I have posted this tune on YouTube for everyone to enjoy.
Our planet is in the greatest danger it has
My
ever
speech
faced.
was a bit hard as well. Yeah, I'll do
Forests are
3DS
being
files.
torn down.
These are clips from the series, I'm sure you've guessed, but I used a thing called Topaz to enlarge them. I use After Effects to increase the frame rate, because obviously the original series would only be like 25 frames. So I turn it up to 60 frames and use the optical flow, which again, your modern TVs will have that, to give you what they call the soap opera effect. You basically make you fill in the missing frames, and keep the motion nice and smooth. And that's what I've done. And then I upscaled them in Topaz, which is, you've probably seen them on like clickbait ads and stuff. These guys are like this guy being interviewed live just caught a fish. You saw them like and what they do, they take this program and they show it small images, low resolution images, and then they show it a bigger image. See later, it's on your TV. And then they show them the same image but higher res, and it learns. They call it neural network learning. Sounds like fucking Commander Data, doesn't it? It's quite scary. But they teach it. They teach it how things should look, and sometimes it does really good jobs of upscaling. So I tried it for my Star Trek motion picture TV version, just taking the extra scenes and trying to expand them to work in the Blu-ray version, the proper HD version. Anyway, that's what I did here. So
to provide
tried
land
to
for living.
just increase the resolution. Plus, I'm trying to use I use Premiere for editing. Rolling Dutch Studio. Hello, Ramanaski, an editor. To be fair though, I'm getting, these are from YouTube, and there's people on there who've done really nice restorations, haven't they? Of that's it. Adama Banana, the YouTube channel where they restore it. So I'm getting the best quality copies of these clips as I can. Jacob helped me with this, finding shots of forests and shots of logging and things like that.
And feeding our
there and crowds. Try to do a crowd shot. So he suggested this to me, which is really good. I'm using the old school image frame rate messing. I can't remember what it's called. The old school one fades between frames, so that's what I'm doing.
Population.
So there's a little bit of fade there.
Huge amounts.
Did the original have fade? You see here, it doesn't quite work. It looks a bit ripply.
And oil to provide
because
vast population.
my playback being
we are
glitchy doesn't
burning
help.
huge amounts of coal and
Now
oil
those are stills.
to provide power.
Those are stills that I've upscaled as high res as I could, so I can zoom up and down them. And that smoke is just stock smoke. And you see, I've added a grey background, grey sky. And that doesn't really work because the light on that chimney doesn't work, does it? It kind of stands out. It should be getting darker with it should be going the same colour as the sky. But never mind.
Transportation.
I thought this was funny as well that that's rendered smoke. That was stock smoke. This is rendered smoke. It's like pixel effects. And I just thought it was funny that Sodor Puddings will be giving off all this pollution. Oh, I'm running out of words now.
Percy's in the lower right corner.
And terrible oil to provide power.
Well, that's okay. This is, he's talking about things from the past.
Terrible online and
Yeah, quiz experts. What's the name of that bus? Is it a bus? Like an old school bus? What's he called? Come on, geniuses, don't let me down. He's called Sodor Afterlife. Elizabeth. Ah. Well, there you go. It's a vintage lorry. Ah, I get it. The vintage lorry.
Terrible online entertainment.
Oh yeah, and a bit of a Rowley reference there. Just like
for the world.
Terrible online entertainment. I just thought it was funny.
People like you are the pioneers.
So, the joke here, and I didn't even come up with this until the very end when I was writing the script. Because, I've got the idea, I've got the script in my head, so I'm rendering the scenes and that. But then you write the final script. And it was only when I was writing that, it started going from Thomas convincing Henry that he's saving the world and that, to him kind of hiding in the closet. You see what I mean? And it's like the speech sort of goes from being, energy and pollution and all this, to being more of a be proud of who you are and come on out, like coming out of the closet. You know what I mean? So that's why we get these funny looks from James and Diesel and Ferdinand. I thought that would have got more of a laugh as well, but never mind.
To new and exciting possibilities, and telling the world that it's okay to be.
You see how it's going different now? Had to do loads, go back and do loads of different shots of this because his speech was way too long. There you go. So a bit of a look from James. I'm like, what? What's?
You don't need to hide in the shadows.
And I'm really, expressing myself doing this. A good bit of advice when you're doing voiceovers: be stood up and really act it out. Don't do it when there's people there; it's embarrassing. Really act it out when you're moving. Do the movements and everything. Really sort of express yourself, even though you can't even be seen on a camera or anything. It's just a bit of advice. You actually see this. You see people doing voices and stuff for cartoons and that, and you see they're acting it out. They're doing movements and stuff. You really do that. It really makes a difference.
Maybe in the part.
If you're doing a smiley part, put on a big smile. There's something about it. People can tell. People can tell you're sort of doing a smile. But yeah, anyway. Oh, here we go. So, I haven't really got a what the hell's going on face for Ferdinand. I'm a bit limited to my faces for Ferdinand, but again, it's kind of a what's he on about?
So, come on, Henry. Flaunt what you've got. Come out of there.
These engines, by the way, for different shots, they're moving around just so the shot looks right. So James is moving quite a lot here. Sometimes he's further up, so he's nearer Thomas, so he's in shot. Sometimes he's pushed back like that, so we don't see him. I think he completely disappears for Henry coming out of the tunnel in a minute.
And show us your body.
And with that, Henry... Yeah, look, Thomas has moved right back. James has moved right back.
Came out.
This is a really long render because I had to change the speed of it after to match my voiceover, my narration. And I did the narration a few times as well because I realised I would have to mention rain. He wouldn't just be afraid of the rain. Here's the it's a biofusion reference, but it's just meant to be funny,
Away.
Oh yeah, someone snapped the fingers and the coaches have gone.
From bigoted stereotypes, Henry phobics, and certainly not from the rain.
But yeah, I did go back to this and go, change this summing up. You've got to mention the rain. Otherwise people are going to go, what just happened? You've got to point out the rain has electrocuted him. Yeah. Otherwise it don't work. And Henry Forbix. See, I thought that would catch on as well. I thought someone would say like, oh yeah, Henry Forbix, that's good. But never mind. All my jokes fell apart. I guess when you strike gold with Edward and his magazines, that you'll never hit the top again. I guess I reached my peak when I got to Edward's magazines. And again, this is a still background image and a still foreground image. You can see it on the Fat Controller's hat and around some of these people. There's a bit of an outline because they're in the foreground, and Henry's then in the middle. So all I've got to do then is just render Henry and animate, animate Henry later.
Henry Forbix, and certainly not from the rain.
I'll show you the different animated Henrys actually before we finish.
Electric.
Now his voice, so I'm sort of going, Thomas, you fuck. And then he cuts off before he swears. I'm using a pitch shifter. But what you got to do, there's a setting on it, a tick box that you click. And it does something weird to it. And if you turn it right down, you have this weird... I forgot what it's called. Formant preserve or something like that. You tick that on, I think. And when you turn it down, you get a weird robot-y voice. But it's odd. I did it years ago on a video, and it came out, sounded really weird. I was like, oh, I like that. And that's what that is. So it's kind of... and I think there's a bit of a phaser going on as well. Effect on my voice. But I think it's quite good. It's kind of like... It's kind of like he's swearing just before we cut to the titles.
Electric.
And then the model is moving, is shaking in 3D. You can do... I'm going to do 3D fest files, don't worry. Sorry, I probably said to remind me. GW Shunt, I think Brandon Polly pointed out these sound effects. He's got a big sound effects collection as well. These are absolutely essential. I was trying to do this... When I did episode 1, I realised it was much better to use the original series sound effects rather than to try and find modern engine noises and things like that. So yeah, if you ask these guys nicely, they'll let you use their sound effects, I hope. But they're really good. They've got really good detailed collections, so it's really good now. And it really does make a difference using the actual Thomas series sound effects. You just can't... It doesn't sound right when you're trying to use your own. Like Shed 17 Project G1, I was using, sound effects. I recorded real steam engines, things like that. Did you use that voice setting in the trailer about the robot video? Yes, I did. Yeah, well spotted. The short circuit one. Yeah. I think it. No, was it? Actually, it might not have been. I think it was like one of these filters. There's one called phaser, and there's another one. And if you turn up the speed of it, you get a really good sort of robot-y effect. Can't think what it's called. I'm rubbish, aren't I? No, never mind. So there's so this is just Thomas and the background are just a still. The eyes are done later because you just have to, you want to do it trial and error. You don't want to be re-rendering the whole thing because the eyes aren't moving properly, so most of the time you do them on their own. And then Henry's separate. Again, you can tell because he's on top of the rails. But it's just a time saver. The bandages don't really work, do they? They're not really on him properly. It's like an overlay. Imagine there's another Henry, just slightly bigger, on top of that Henry, and I've given him like bandage crossing bandages, and but then the rest of the texture is transparent. So the bandages are kind of just off him. They're not actually touching him. And again, I've dabbled with this. I think when I went 4K, I dabbled with these little stars. I wanted them to flicker. It's like dust. I wanted them to flicker in the light. Like a firework effect, I suppose. And then, yeah, these two just look at each other for the next 20 seconds. I just thought it was funny. What the hell? And there's that embarrassed look again from when Thomas was fat in the video, the last video, yes. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't forget anything. Oh yes, wait a minute, yes I did. Let's just go back to screensavers. I'm going to knock this off. I'm going to start up 3DS. Bear with me, everybody. Bear with me. This might take a little while. Bear with me. I'll see you later, Gustavo Games Roblox. Yeah, 3 hours non-stop streaming. Fuck, I'm knackered. Oh. Right, sorry. Wait a second. Nearly there. Oh, I want to show you this, didn't I? Hang on. Henry. Oh, tunnel. Here we go. Tunnel. Oh, I didn't render Henry as a skeleton. Here you are, guys. Have a look at this. There's Henry. But I didn't render it. See, these are frame grabs. These are frame sequences. So I can move through them like this, but I can't. I didn't actually put it together as a video. But basically, that is moving the same. It's linked to the Henry model. So as the Henry model shakes randomly, this does the same, moves the same. So you can click quickly between the two. And then, hold on everybody. Yeah, and there's Henry. So he's just doing that, and then I think I've got another one where his eyes are open. Same grimace he had earlier on when he rolled his eyes, by the way. Let's just go back to... I can't read the comments at the moment. Wait a minute. There we go. So this is him now. So that was him coming out of the shed, coming out of the tunnel, because I don't need him to be. I don't need the skeleton to come out of the tunnel. You know what I mean? So I've only rendered the skeleton for the shaking bit, and then he gets electrocuted and he starts. No. I must delete these animations actually because they take up so much space. Doesn't really work because his movement, his centre of gravity is kind of like where his driver and fireman would be. So his tender at the back is... I should have left the tender not moving. I should have unlinked it from him. But I'm stupid. And that's a PNG, which has a transparent background. So you can just overlay it really easily onto, you know, the background, the tunnel in the background. Again, you got to be careful. Don't have too much. Don't have a light. Don't render it with a light background, because you still get that outline around it, and that's what happened with the foreground people. Here's a question: did Donald die in Project G1? Donald, yeah, they both died. One of them was in the pressure tank thing, and then the other one's just in a room and just exploded. They all just go like. Well, plus seeing Paul get his own YouTube series. I want to recreate stuff that happens to me at work and that, and then I just like get pissed off and punch people. But probably I'd get fired. Probably think twice about that. What do we want to see? Hold on. Sorry, I am doing something, honestly. Titles. I want to show the titles. Okay. Just loading up 3DS, which should take 67 years. Ding, 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 ding. Twat. Do, 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 do. The Wikia said it was unknown. Right. Hold on. We're nearly there. Nearly there. Bloody hell, Paul, get on with it. Here we go. Bing. So, this is our... Looks good, that, doesn't it? That looks better than my fucking render. There's my Thomas. Let's get out of the camera. Wait, how do we do this perspective? There you are. That's what it looks like. It's kind of a... Oh, it's kind of a bulgy ball. See how the rails aren't quite attached? I haven't quite got them. You sort of bend it so it looks... So it matches that, but you have to be too... You have to be careful it doesn't go into the ball itself. How long did it take to render Shed 17? Well, the whole video took 2 years. So it's basically that. But then if you change the angle a bit, sort of, you know, like this kind of thing, you can kind of make it look as though it's bent, you know, that he's turning sideways as well. Yeah, it's an egg. And then this Thomas model is attached to... And what's he attached? There's a model. Oh, maybe he isn't. I thought he was a... No, he isn't, you know. No, he's just attached himself. That's what it is. He isn't. He's just... I thought there was like an object in the middle here, and he was attached to that, and that was me. But this isn't a pure sphere, is it? It's not a perfect ball, so that wouldn't work. Yeah. So basically, he does this every time, and Thomas himself, if you look, there's an animated bend going on. And you can see... Actually, no, you can't. No, you can't see it there, but there's an angle going on. It's just a bend filter. It took you 2 years. I mean, you rendered well. Yeah. I'd finish a scene and then go on to another scene and render that. I did the final scene. That was one of the first things I did. I think, was he meant to have? Looks as though he's meant to have a whistle. Looks as though there's something there. But that's him. That's my weird Thomas now. This one or new season Thomas? What do we think? What do we think? It's a new competition question. My cartoony Thomas or new series? Oh, someone's already answered. Still better than season 25. You win. And he's got a bit of that face. Yeah, he has a round nose, doesn't he, Thomas? Yeah. But the idea was to sort of make people go, "Oh my God, what's Paul done?" But then you'd see the actual program was going to be, my normal Thomas. But the whole joke was ruined because of my intro bit. But that's it. That's the ball. Anything else you want to see? Paul's last name is Vids. How do you spell Paul's last name? Vids. What are you lot doing? You guessing my real name? Can we see the tunnel? Nah. Okay. Hold on. Where's the tunnel? Hold on. I'm nearly there. Here we go. Don't save before you quit, Paul, for God's sake. Oh, see you later, Party 2 Up Productions. Nice to meet a new person. Oh. Paul, which death scares you the most? Mine! Oh, you mean in the Shed 17? I think Smudger grosses me out the most. When he kind of gets pulled up and all his guts are still there. It's not the best effect, but it kind of just... Ugh. What else? So here we go. Oh, got a few problems with textures. Fat Control hasn't got a hat. Oh, this is something you got to fix. I've never been able to fix this. You make an oval, you attach a face, but then the face is still there going around. You've probably noticed I've photoshopped. And look, mouth is there. I'm thinking the death that scares you the most is Gordon. I was quite proud of that, how he, impacted. Well, that came up quite good. Where the fuck's Henry? Oh, there he is. So when I rendered this, he had a smiley face. His wheels aren't moving. Oh, do you know what? I think in the original... No. Wait, did I? Wait, no. Did I? Wait, no. Did I? Wait, no. No, did I? Paul, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, look. Look, I forgot to move his wheels. So I just blackened out his wheels like they were in shadow. Oh, I'm such a fucking cheat, aren't I? How cool is that? Well, such a fucking cheat I am, actually. I forgot to move his wheels. The old scene Fat Control. It's a bit freaky, actually, that, isn't it? Oh my God, Fat Control is some kind of god character. So I forgot to move his wheels because I'm stupid. So he comes out And obviously I changed, when I'm rendering this, I changed his face. And then he has, this is like a random, so there'll be an object attached to him somewhere, probably inside him. And I've attached like a randomizer that just adds a shake. And this settings, you know, so you can set it so it changes. So it does it faster or slower. So I don't know how fast this originally went. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see how fast it goes. It's quite fast there, isn't it? Oh, there's the object. Look. Watch. See the purple object above him? The cube. That's what's that. See, he's connected to that. That's part of it. So it shakes. Wait, I think I found clues about Paul's last name. It starts with H, ends with E. Where are you getting that from? What's that purple cube about? His cap. Yeah, so you can. I don't know if you can see this. You can link an object. Hold on. You can link an object. There. Can you see that on the screen? No, you can't. Sorry, it's a little bit cropped. But there's an object and you can link it to something else. So you can link that to that cube, which stays hidden, so it's not in the actual thing, and that's what's got the animation on it. There you are. You've got there's a modifier. Hold on. Oh, it's something. Yeah, it's something you add to the animation, to the animation, the timeline along the bottom there, and it just gives it a random shake. And Henry is linked to that. So when he moves out, it's not affected. There's no link. Oh look, I had to fix that as well. He hits the side of the tunnel. I had to fix that in the final. But because he's rendered on a background, it doesn't really. You can kind of mess with physics. Yeah, my real name's Alan Barry. And that's it. That's how it's done. And is there anything else you want to see before we call it an evening? What scene are you most proud of in Shed 17? The finale. There's a lot going on in that. You know, from the lights. Can we see the station? The Knapford. Knapford. We'll do some more models next time, so anyway everyone can see him. You see, I tend not to keep all the hold on, what's it called? Thomas at Knapford. Tend not to, yeah, I haven't kept the animations, but I keep the work, you know, I keep the 3D models. I keep the 3D animations so I can always render them again if I ever want to go back to it or something. Yeah, please do ask something, Tubular Animation. Sorry if I'm not looking at the comments too much. You found clues on the trailer about my name. Did I give away clues about my name? I actually do live in that house in the trailer, by the way. Well, I don't give out. I don't give out my last name, and I respect you guys wouldn't want to give away your names. always careful about that. I wouldn't want someone to, give away anything about themselves. Always keep your privacy. Keep it, I can't think of a good word now. I've run out of words. I'm fucking, me brain's melted. Why is this not loading? Hold on, guys. I'll try this again. Thomas at Knapford. Here we go. Come on. Come on, 3DS. Sorry about this, guys. Want to hear my industrial Henry's sad theme while I'm doing this? Here we go. No. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Henry's. Where's it at? Henry. Oh, and I should say thanks to Jacob Jarrett and Nikki Daviditis for doing voiceovers for me for that trailer. It's not really a tune, it's just kind of so is that really loud? Oh, that is really loud, sorry. Hope no one went deaf. Oh, there we go. Right, it's working now. It's a bit weird. It's not doing what it should do, but here it is. Anyway, yeah, that's my theme tune. Here we go. So this will look better when it's moving. So there's Thomas. Oh, I'll demonstrate what happens when you fuck with side rods. Hold on. Right. So those side rods are linked to his wheels, okay. But look what happens. They go off on their own. We're not going in that direction, we're going over here, said his side rods. And there's Annie and Clarabelle going along with him. There's Annie facing backwards. But Clarabelle is facing the wrong way. Actually, wait a minute. Oh yeah, no, it's okay. Interesting fact, Annie and Clarabelle have a nose on the inside of the face as well. They don't really. It's just daft stuff I did. Oof. This is why you're always careful to hide objects that are going to block your view. But there it is. My Knapford. Yeah, look at these. See, look, they're just like pictures. Just a picture of rooftops, and you can see it. And there's a join. You can see the join. Oh my God! There's an earthquake on Soda. Da, 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 da. Sorry. And these are just simple blocks because you can't really, you got to kind of. If I had like a supercomputer, I'd probably be able to do like, more detailed effects. But I mean, these guys that do Marvel effects and stuff are like fucking. They've got whole fucking warehouses full of computers just to render stuff. Trees take forever to render as well. And there it is. Oh shit, hang on, sorry. Godzilla invades sword. I was just thinking that. I wonder if there's something I can do. And that's the model, and then so that's what should be all the way down there. It kind of comes to an abrupt stop. See the wall? Quite proud of that wall, and then there's a bit of air, a bit of sky there, so you got to be careful what angle you're filming from. And then, God, I feel like I'm giving away all the stuff here. This is quite good. I quite like this. Made them signals from scratch. Made that from scratch. That also appears in the sheds. Sololive Town after that's not my model. That's from the book. It's not really textured properly. And again, look, it goes off in the distance. I think that this isn't the full model because there would have been mountains there, but not this time because I didn't need them for this scene. So this is what you do. You have to get rid of the stuff that's not going to be in the scene. Otherwise, it'll take longer to render. It's harder to do. Whoops. So yeah, all these engines were modded up apart from Thomas himself. I've worked on that later, but none of these engines, none of them matched the rails or anything. None of them matched each other's size or anything like that. So I had to do all that. I wanted it to be easy, If I said, oh, I know, I'll do a funny thing where Gordon and Henry are talking at a station. Now I can just get the model of the station, get the model of them two engines, and I know they're going to fit on them rails properly. This almost looks better before I rendered it, though. It just has a nice shade and everything. Sometimes you just kind of wish... them bushes don't work. Because look, you see, you can only see them properly when you... Well, that's not even proper. It's just, you only see them properly when you're rendering. Can we see Tidmouth sheds? Okie doke. But then that'll be it, okay. Because I'm... Oh, Thomas, I'm knackered. I'm knackered, Thomas. What am I doing? Thomas. Let's do Gordon on his on the turntable. Quite proud of the turntable. I know it kind of morphs into the railway, the rails there, but never mind. Uncensored fat controller. No, this is a family thing. No, I'd be too tempted to give him my cock. What are you watching on YouTube, son? Oh, just Paul's vids talking about cock. What? Here we go. So this is from the camera's point of view. There's another camera there. That's what you get. You get a little sort of diagram like that showing you where the cameras are. You probably get this in Blender as well. So obviously nothing's happening here at the moment because Gordon's got to go through the whole rigmarole. Hello, Carolyn Daly. I'm afraid you've missed our stream. And the lighting's got a bit funny here, but then he comes in, and here it is from the more complicated angle. By the way, these I never try and recreate a proper 16:9 ratio screen, so you've always got to check your final render just to check there's nothing off the edges of the screen that you wanted in it, or there's nothing in the final render that you don't want to be seen. I'm quite proud of this. So this is all linked, you see. So if I animate, see, look, Gordon moves with it. I know it doesn't seem like much of a big deal, but Gordon moves with that. And even when he comes out of there, so he's connected to that, but he starts moving before that stop. Look, he started moving before the. Hold on, let me change this. Oh shit. There. He starts moving before the turntable stops. Look there, he's moving, but by the time he gets there, it has stopped, just slowing down a bit. But if I mess with this, look, Gordon still moves with it. See? Oh my God, said Gordon, what's going on? Ah, no! The quicksand on Sodor sucked him under.
Oh, someone sucked Gordon.
Sorry. Stop it, Paul. God's sake, Paul. Rolling Duck Studios only watched Shed 17 last year. You didn't find it that. I'll see you later, Ginger Ninja. You didn't. Did you find it that horrific? It was never. I never really intended it to be that. You know, like, oh my God, horrific. There's that weird thing that shouldn't be there. Look at it. What is it? Must have been something. No, it's not. It's not part of anything. I don't know what it is. Got a wood texture. Just get rid of it. Now somehow I've got. How come I've got side rods on Gordon there? Let's just look at the side rods. Right. And look what the side rods do. There, look. So they're lined up with him there, probably because he's completely. Well, to make it sound simple, he's at the north end. Yeah, he's going straight up there, you see. But when he's on the turntable, look, they don't stick to him. I wonder if that's in. No, I probably rendered it, and I probably rendered that bit and hid the side rods, and then just added them and carried on rendering once that side rod was behind this turntable. There's that thing again, look. That's what I talked. The signal box I was telling you about. There's another one. Oh dear. This has been changed over the time. Often change these houses so they're in different places just for convenience, you know. Why is Gordon purple? It's like a sunset effect going on. He's blue there, isn't he? Yeah. Anyway. Gonna turn in now. Well done to Thaxonorsinish guy. He is now Shed Master 2021. He can now sell sheds to anyone without fear of ridicule. He can hold up his screen grab of his title up there and say, I am the King of Shed. And everyone will look at him and go, what the F are you talking about? Time is it? Gone 12. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Don't forget to set up your notifications so you know when I'm on. We'll do some trucking and stuff like that. I've also got recently got Just Cause 3, so we'll have a bit of a laugh with that sometime. Skyrim, which no doubt I'll be on for about 6 years. And also recently got Cyberpunk, which is driving me round the effing bend. Oh, and of course we've got footy. Everyone likes a bit of Paul swearing at football. Oh, see you later, Finham99. Yeah, I kind of enjoy it. I'm always a bit nervy when I do things like this. I always have to sort of get into the. Sometimes I start streaming, I'm just not in the mood. I'm just like, oh god, you know. Like, believe it or not, I don't like the sound of my own voice. You wouldn't think so, but I do. Okay, guys, see you soon. Don't forget to be cool. Peace. Oh, go on. One more question. One more question. One more question. Sorry. Did it again. I just apologised for doing that, and then I did it again. Are you done updating the Thomas and other engine models, or are you still updating them? No, I'm kind of done with it. I thought about trying to mess with the textures, trying to give them a bit more detail, because, you know, they're not just plain colours, are they? They're still, you know what I mean? They're still, well, they've got dirt on them and detail, don't they? So that's what I'd like to look at, doing things like that. And I know he has a lamp on his back, which I've never done. And one day I'm going to give them all numbers. I know that's a big thing. But yeah, the big thing I've got to do, I want to make Belle, because I've got an idea for a video, and I want to make Kevin. Not that I've got any ideas for Kevin, but he's like my favourite non-engine, so I want to make Kevin. So yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Remember to be cool, and peace.